Hey everybody, and welcome to a very special presentation of Raw Dogs. This episode was released to our Patreon members many moons ago, but today it is arriving on the main feed as a special treat to you, partially because I was a little hungover the other day, and partially because we recorded another special episode just for our Patreon members. This is the God of War Ragnarok episode. This features my friend Ben. You might have heard him before on our Mortal Kombat episode or way back in the day when we did the top 10 PS4 soundtracks. But if you want access to our Patreon episodes early, which features, we have a Castlevania Symphony of the Night one, we have part 2s of Final Fantasy IX, Persona 5, our infamous The Lore of McDonald's, as well as tons of exclusive popcorn dogs are available on there as well. So we'd love to have you. We'd love to have you check it out. There's free trials available too. You'll get Elden Dogs, our Elden Ring podcast, much further in advance as well. But yeah, if you're curious, check it out. This is Raw Dogs, and we're part of the Tokyo Beat Podcast Network. Thanks for checking us out. We're professionals. We don't even need to do any warm-ups.
No.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Raw Dogs, your favorite podcast about beer and video games and Norse gods and dead dwarfs.
Ouch, but yeah.
Oh,
all right.
spoiler warning.
Whoops. Almost just spoiler warning, yeah. R.I.P. Brock.
Coming in hot.
Really?
Don't fall in love with Lunda. Yeah. My name is...
you might.
Yeah, but you might when you know the voice actress.
Oh, yeah. No. Sorry. Go ahead. Continue your intro. Sorry.
My name is Brad, and I'm very excited to be back in Midgard. Mm-hmm. Who else is here today?
My name is Tyler, and I've been very excited to talk about this game since about 48 hours after I purchased it, because that's about when I beat it. Which was
2 days?
2 days after it came out. No, it was like a week.
Okay, all right.
I'm over-exaggerating. No, this has been a long time coming.
Okay, yeah. Hi, I'm Ben.
Ben, welcome back.
Hello, thank you. Yes, I'm like my third or fourth time on this show?
Third, I believe, because you were here for top 10 PS4 soundtracks, which we did very early in the PS4 life cycle. But we were going for it, and then you were here for the Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat, that's right.
Yep, because we talked about the old movie, and then we watched the new one.
The HBO one?
Which I've surprisingly forgotten quite a bit of.
Yeah, me too. I remember just him saying, "Get over here." That's it.
And
everyone's like, yeah, sick.
That's what he says, dude.
That's what he holy shit.
So I have a special beer for today.
All right. Very excited.
What the hell is that?
What is this? Oh, no. Odin is my overlord.
What? Drecker?
So from Drecker Brewing.
Almost sounds like Drek-y.
Yes. If Odin wasn't so obviously the master, I went looking for Loki as my homeboy from them, but instead I found Odin as my overlord, and I guess it was meant to be.
This is still good.
So it's a lactose double IPA from Drecker, and just a heads up, Odin is the best part of this entire game, in my opinion.
I agree with you. I was so incredibly and pleasantly surprised at the voice actor and his entire, his look, his feel, everything about him.
Very soft-spoken, like The way he's just like real quiet and gentle seeming.
Yeah.
Masterfully played, masterfully written. I did enjoy Odin quite a bit.
Made out to be a true villain, that's for sure. Like, it's just like that villain you kind of want to cheer for a little bit because he's, I don't know, he's so small.
Dude, he's really good at making you like him throughout the entire game.
Yeah.
And you know he's going to fuck you over at some point, but
absolutely.
you're like, you're so fucking charming.
There's a million billboards saying, don't trust him. And you meet the guy and you're like,
I don't know, man. He's pretty good.
he's pretty cool.
Yeah.
not so bad.
He doesn't yell at me like my father.
Heimdall, shut up.
Oh, like, yeah. Yeah, get it, man. This guy gets it.
Yeah, I really liked his performance in Ballers, the HBO series starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Oh, also, I liked how he defended Kevin Spacey as the lawyer in Seven.
Oh, my God. Oh, really?
Ooh, look at
Okay.
yeah.
Wow.
I was on IMDb. Yeah.
I just got to pull these out somewhere. Yeah.
So God of War Ragnarok is our topic today. Direct sequel to God of War 2018. And I put down the 9th or 11th-ish in the series. Go back to our old God of War episode we did at some point. The problem is, the couple mobile games, do you count them?
Oh, mobile games.
But yes, Kratos is still around. And after God of War 2018, people were fucking ready.
Jesus Christ. I remember just them announcing God of War 2018, and you just see, like, boy, I am hungry. And everyone's like, oh, shit! Like, freaking. He just says that one line. You barely even know it's Kratos.
I remember PlayStation 4 after I beat God of War 2018. I put the theme of him and Atreus sitting in the boat, and there's a little inscription on the building that says like Ragnarok is coming that you had to translate that people saw
In the runes.
Yeah, so I was like, wait a minute, they got to do a sequel?
You mean the thing that they hinted at the entire game?
Yeah, I was like,
That they talked about Ragnarok and Fimbulwinter the entire game, and they kept talking about how Odin's the bad guy the entire game.
I know, I was so psyched when I saw it on the little theme. Plus, it makes me miss the PlayStation 4 theme. The PlayStation 5 theme, I can't change it.
Yeah.
It's whatever game you're highlighting on.
But when you look back in God of War 2018 and you're fighting some dudes named Magni and Modi, you're like, there must be, like, they're saving the big Norse gods. You're sitting there and you know that. It's like,
Yeah, for sure.
You don't even see Thor show up until, very much at the
Very
end.
cutscene, yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of people didn't even get that because once the game was done, they were like, all right, on to the
cool.
next one. Because you have to return home to get that
Yeah.
cutscene.
There's a fair amount in this game as well that you have to go afterwards. But yes, Kratos and Atreus still reside in ancient Scandinavia, and they deal with more dickhead gods and axe-throwing mayhem. This was developed by Santa Monica Studios, published by Sony Interactive Entertainment. Cody Barlog did not return to direct this game, which Christopher Judge was very upset about at first. He's like, I'm not Kratos for anyone but Cody Barlog.
Oh my God. Okay.
And naturally, everyone's like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Here's more money.
Please
Stay on.
Okay.
All right, boy.
Oh, I do have a glass.
Money.
Money.
I don't need a snack. I need a 50. Yes. Directed by Eric Williams. Fun fact, Eric Williams has been involved on every God of War game since the original.
Yeah.
He designed the combat system and, almost his entire workography for his working career is God of War. I looked at it. It's almost across the board. So if someone has spent time with Kratos.
It's that guy. I mean, I think they mentioned that you guys watched that documentary thing on YouTube, the Raising Kratos thing. Did you guys watch that?
No, I meant to go back and watch it, and
This was
fell off my
before
radar.
Ragnarok.
Yeah,
right?
before Ragnarok. Yeah, this is
yeah.
when they're making the 2018 one.
Yeah.
But I remember they mentioned that guy too, and how he's like, yeah, we were back there and we were trying to make something new because everyone was kind of getting bored. Like once Resurrection came out, everyone's like, yeah, Resurrection? Yeah. And once Resurrection came out, everyone was kind of burnt out from it and didn't want to do the hack and slash. He wanted something better with more sustenance.
Was it Ascension?
Ascension, that's it. Ascension.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
There's so many. Once you abandon numbers, you have abandoned us understanding what's going on in the series a little bit. Cody Barlog, though, was involved everywhere. It's kind of just a tradition that God of War, there's a different director every game. So I appreciate him stepping down. Artist Raphael Grizzetti. Check out his Instagram if you don't. He's always just making dope-ass versions of Power Rangers and Ninja Turtles on Instagram. He's just a 3D modeler who just does stuff for fun.
Nice.
And writers Matt Sophos, Richard Zengrande Gobert, and composer Bear McCreary returning as well. Tyler, you were pretty excited waiting for this game, weren't you?
I pre-ordered it.
Yeah, I haven't pre-ordered a game outside of Elden Ring in a long time.
The Last of Us Part 2 I pre-ordered. It's only like those flagship like games that I really consider some of my favorites. Like 2018 God of War is one of my favorite games, so obviously I was going to get the sequel. Same thing with The Last of Us. Yep. I was very psyched for this. I did not watch any trailers. I went in completely blind, and I have a lot of opinions and I'm very conflicted. Overall, I love the game, but I have some beef with it.
There was a couple questions that I had too. Yeah, we'll get into that too. I pre-ordered it as well. I only pre-ordered things that I like as well. I mean, like Diablo 4, I pre-ordered that because I've been playing the shit out of the other ones.
So are you doing advanced? Is it like playing that already? Diablo 4?
I'm not doing the beta stuff. I don't have time.
Okay.
I got 2 kids. And they're just like, cry, cry, cry. I love you so much.
It's amazing. As soon as you had kids, you got that like face tattoo.
Yeah, it's weird.
And now you carry an X around the house all the time.
And luckily we had one boy, so I just call him boy all the time.
Do you?
No. No. Boy. Sometimes I do bust it out when he's just, because he doesn't know.
You're 3. Here's your first bow and arrow.
Yeah. You are not ready.
He can't put the blocks in the right holes. You're like, do better.
That's it. Mother used to show me this all the time. Well, she's not around anymore. And my wife's just like, I'm right here. Man.
So do you have a lot of experience with the God of War games before 2018?
Yes. The only one I haven't played was Ascension.
Okay.
It's the only one I haven't played. I guess I didn't play the mobile games either, but
fuck those.
But I did play like the PSP games and 1, 2, and 3. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you have more experience than most people, I would say.
Ah, really?
Yeah. I mean, I played 1 through 3 plus Ascension, but like those PSP ones, you had to be there, right?
Yeah, PSP. R.I.P. to the PSP.
R.I.P.S.P.
Yeah. I really have my friend to thank to get me into this game because he actually gave me a copy of God of War, the first one. He's like, dude, you got to try this game. And like, for a year, I suck at video games. And when I say I suck at video games, I mean like I suck at playing video games and being consistent with video games. So he like told me this, and then like 2 years later, I finally played it, and I was like, this is the best game ever. And luckily, it was right around the time God of War 3 was coming out. So then he was like, you son of a bitch, I had to wait so long for God of War 3, and you just played 1 and 2, and all of a sudden 3 comes out. I'm like, yeah, I know, it's great.
Yeah.
I just knew it was going to happen.
Sometimes things work out the way they were supposed to, right? God of War 2018 did a whole bunch for Kratos as a character. Yeah. Because honestly, I don't know if people missed Kratos too much. I felt like that Kratos was pretty tired, and we get it. You're angry. We get
angry.
It's a good shtick for a while.
Yeah.
When Kratos does emerge in 2018 is I just wanted to live a quiet life, and he has to go to his chest and like get his gun out of there. He's like, I said I wouldn't do this anymore. It's like John Wick. It's like John Wick getting out the blades of chaos a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. God of War 2018 was a weirdly special game, very defining for the PS4, and a reinvention. I think moving Kratos into Norse mythology was a very wise decision. God of War 2018 I was fucking high on. I was very high in that game, and Ragnarok I was juicing for.
Yeah, I was in the same boat. I was really high on 2018. I liked how long it was. Like it felt like it just kept going and going and going. And the story didn't get repetitive. I was all about it. And then I think it's because I like the Last of Us games so much that I see a lot of Last of Us DNA.
Oh, you mean where you don't
God
play stuff and you watch really well-made cutscenes?
Yeah, that and the companion system. Like Atreus is basically Ellie.
Yeah, okay.
Fetching stuff for you and helping you kill enemies.
I'm just happy.
There's a lot of boosting both of them up to high places.
Yeah. Okay, one thing that's stupid about God of War games. Brad's first gripe. Here he is, he's climbing fucking giant gods, and he is doing the most over-the-top crazy shit. One person puts like a little skateboard blocker up on a rail. He's like, I can't climb it.
Yeah. Dude, I've seen you jump over mountains, man. Like, just hop up there, dog.
Get up, man.
I can't do it.
It's clearly impossible.
My knees hurt.
If someone put a rail on those gods and titans that I killed in the earlier games, I wouldn't have been able to do it either.
Did you see any skateboard blockers there, Atreus? Go to your room.
It's the same as your room. Yeah, shut up.
It's our room.
Go to your corner.
no talking with Mimir. It's like that's no television is no talking with Mimir.
Yeah, that's it. That's good.
I will not try any Mimir accents on this episode.
I've tried it. It doesn't sound good.
I'm not doing it. I wouldn't be able to.
I learned some surprising things about Mimir while doing research, but a little bit about development. A sequel was teased at the end of the game. I mean, just showing Thor showing up.
Right.
We know what's coming. April 2019, the teaser that you mentioned, Tyler, the PS4 dynamic background theme. At the same time, in order to celebrate the first anniversary of the previous game's release, Barlog posted a thread of tweets with pictures and a statement concerning the development process. Some fans noticed the letters of each tweet spelled out Ragnarok is coming.
Ooh.
Yes. Conspiracy theorists.
There you go.
September 16th, during the PS5 2020 showcase, the sequel was officially announced for a 2021 release. And February 2021, no updates for a period of time led Cody Barlog to tweet that the game will be out when it's done. Always the right move.
Yeah.
There were delays, though. The pandemic, I didn't cover the history of the pandemic in my outline. I figured we'd know it.
Yeah.
We get it.
It's COVID.
We were there.
Yeah.
Shit was tough.
It was very tough.
Yeah. I don't know how it was in ancient Scandinavia, but it made problems getting access to talent. This was also unique in that Sonny Suljic, probably butchering the boy's name, Atreus, he was going through puberty pretty heavily during this time.
Oh, yeah, I guess. Kind of a jump.
Voice was changing a bunch, so the dialogue designers said that they had to go in and even out a bunch of his audio, and they re-recorded some things because I didn't realize starting this game up, I'm like, oh, Atreus is just Atreus, and then you like see during the game they show like flashbacks to little boy Atreus. I'm like, wow, he was a little pipsqueak back then.
Yeah, he's quite a bit older in this one.
Yep.
Yeah. He's old enough to regret, like, have shame and regret about things he's done, which is a really traumatic period of your life when you're like, oh God, did I really say that? That whole scene, it was just him saying stupid stuff at like middle school dances.
Yeah.
Yep. Boy. June 2021, the game would be delayed. Announcement was delayed until 2022 to ensure the game was ready. And June as well of that year, it was confirmed the game would be released for both the PS4 and 5. I think a bad move, but an understandable move.
Right.
I like next-gen games.
To be exclusively on the next gen.
When you're having to hinder what you can do to stay in the last one.
Right.
And at that point, without the shipping issues for the PlayStation 5, that should have been a kind of a no-brainer. On like a normal like life cycle of a new console, at that period, games are going to start being exclusive. So I know that the shortage of PlayStation 5s contributed to a lot of games being previous and next gen. And I was also bummed because I really wanted some new animations and some really, really updated graphics on my new PlayStation 5.
Yeah, do you play this 4 or 5?
I play 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that really struck to me being a PS4 game as well was every time Kratos crawled through a crack to load a new area.
Yeah.
When you do like the side step and you just, oh, okay. Or there's a long hallway where nothing's happening.
Yep.
Like, I see what you're doing. At least there's clever dialogue.
Right, yeah.
Right?
In there.
September 2021, people were getting pretty angry and tweeting. And Christopher Judge, Kratos, motherfucker, you don't mess with this guy.
No.
He tweets out that a lot of the delay was caused by him requiring surgery. He wasn't going to be able to go in there and do the acting because I think it was back surgery. I forget what it was.
Okay, yeah.
And Santa Monica said, nope, we'll delay it. We want Kratos to be in tip-top shape.
100%, yeah.
I saw people tweeting like, you don't need to stand up to voice act. And it's like, have you seen the man perform?
Right.
Well, and they're doing
Puts
the
body into it.
Well, it's not even just that. They're doing the full like motion capture.
Yeah.
Him and Sonny. Yeah. It was great watching the Raising Kratos because Christopher Judge, I think, he maybe talks a little too adult with Sonny.
Oh, yeah. There's like one scene where like Sonny's about to voice act. It's like, what, you think you're motherfucking big now? Save your money, dog. That's what he said.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And because there are scenes where he has to just like stand up to the dude Kratos who's just looming over him and just talk shit at him.
Yeah.
God.
And you have to act like you're good at doing that because there's no way that kid was actually good at doing that. No one is. July 6, 2022, a new cinematic trailer unveiled, confirming the November 9th release date. It arrived November 9th for the PS4, PS5, making it the first cross-gen entry in the series. Upgrading between consoles cost $10. Sold 5.1 million units in its first week, becoming the fastest-selling first-party game in PlayStation history.
I drove all the way to Menominee Falls to pick it up because all the Best Buys, I was using rewards points, all the Best Buys were like out of stock. So
you pre-ordered.
Yeah, I pre-ordered, and then they were like, you got to go pick it up over here. And I was really mad because I was going to pick it up at like 11 in the morning and download it, go to work, come home and play. Right. I had to wait till I got home from work and drove to Menominee Falls during rush hour. So I was a very cranky boy that day.
Absolutely, yeah.
When the negatives like an always online, which is what, like Suicide Squad is going to be going through. I wish that with physical releases, there's just such a benefit of getting it digital because you can just download it, pre-download it half the time, and then it just clicks on the moment it's available instead of Tyler's stuff. And you're talking about then I'll just download it and then I'll go to work and then it'll be ready to fucking play by the time I come home because you got to update everything. I wish the only upside for like that always online is they could sell you physical copies early, and then people would break the shit out of that. But
yeah.
I just want to be able to get a physical game the same time those digital people.
I do much prefer the physical game now because I have so many games digital, and there's a lot that I have digital that I wish I got physical, and I am so glad that I got a physical copy of this game, and I'm sure you are glad that I got a physical copy as well.
Because I can't afford to buy every $60 games. It's Elden Ring in there, so don't take that home.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's another one I should have bought physical. I got a digital.
I own 2 physical copies of Elden Ring.
I own 2 digital copies.
That's because I played.
I own the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 digital copy, technically.
Fair enough.
Because I paid the $70 when I had a PlayStation 4 for both copies because I knew what was on my horizons there. I was like, I'm not gonna be a schlub for forever.
Well, I played 50 Cent Blood in the Sand for an hour, and that's how I got a second copy of Elden Ring.
We both got a From Software game that night because I got Dark Souls remastered.
It was a video game fundraiser event, and you had to pick a random shitty game from a pile and play it for an hour, and then you could pick one of the games. Yeah, I fucking got the only good game in the pile. I got 50 Cent Blood in the Sand. It was amazing.
And he sat right next to me while I was playing, and I was playing some Bubsy game, and it was fucking terrible, and I hated it.
50 Cent released 2 third-person shooters in the vein of Gears of War, if you didn't know.
Oh, okay. That's good. Shit.
They're actually okay.
Yeah.
Tony A was like, yo, 50, break these crates to find stuff inside. And I was like, this dialogue is groundbreaking.
No Eminem, though.
No.
Super disappointed that there's no Slim Shady in those games.
Damn.
Yeah, I don't know why not? You think it would make sense, but.
Yeah. Just sign off on your... What's going on, Slim?
Makes sense. Sorry. I'm being dumb. Sorry.
No, that's good. Some of the specs. This game is 4K at 30 frames per second or 1080p at 60 frames per second. In the PS5, you can get high frame resolution mode, high frame performance mode, 3D audio, haptic feedback, and yada, yada, yada. We're about to get into the meat and potatoes for the game.
I'm excited.
Before we get there, I did want to do a shout out to the accessibility options. Did you guys, when you started this, there's the quick start, just fucking put me in the game mode, or there is check out all of the accessibility options, which I knew that I wouldn't need, but I wanted to look through.
Yeah, that's what I did.
I think you got to look through them because I have an HDR and I had to calibrate it.
Oh, not even that. This is for people that have various maybe issues reading or seeing things on the screen, audio cues. There is 90 or 70 different options to make the game more playable for different, I don't want to say deficiencies, different ability. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's pretty cool. I actually did go in there and I tried tweaking the audio cues in the battles, but it wound up being a little too intrusive. It's more for people that really need it. Otherwise, it definitely affects the way the screen looks. But you can change the size of text even, because some people are unable to read like the smaller text,
Sure,
or you can
that's
like,
cool.
it's just a really nice thing.
Did they have that high contrast mode where in certain scenes your character will be like alpha blue against a green background sort of thing? Hogwarts had that, and Devin, my roommate, accidentally turned it on and thought the game was bugged. He's gonna like restart and everything. And we were all sitting around like,
was he stoned?
maybe.
Dude, I don't know, man.
I just got home from Vanguard when it happened, so I was not sober. I was like, man, what'd you do, man? This game's bugged. Fuck, I just bought it.
It's a contrast thing. I don't know, man.
Yeah, we figured it out.
Still like it.
Yeah.
I still like the game, but
I'm mostly going to those settings because I have a problem with motion sickness.
okay.
Luckily, like God of War, both God of Wars, I haven't been able to change much, or I haven't had to change much, I should say. But yeah, that's why I go into those settings too. And then thankfully, I'm just gonna throw my little one out there, even though like the color blindness and other things are probably more. But
No, it's important across the board, and it's just nice that games are offering these things.
yeah,
now.
for sure.
One thing that I activated out of laziness was automatically pick up all of like the loot that drops. So Kratos just runs up and just like, so I don't have to like click.
That's an
grab this.
accessibility thing?
Well, it's available in one of the accessibility menus.
Man,
yeah.
that would have been nice.
That would have been nice.
It was nice, other than sometimes like, and you don't pick up things you don't need. Is the biggest advantage because, like, if I'm full on rage, it doesn't pick that up.
Okay.
Full on health, and then you come back there way later, and it's still sitting.
Yeah,
there,
those are chilling. Yeah.
which is a nice thing.
That's
'Cause
cool.
Sometimes you go back there to fight a berserker.
Well, sometimes
1,000 times.
sometimes I save those though. Like I don't pick them up all the time. So if you're saying if you have like one hit out of your health, it'll just pick up that health and use it.
Yeah, but
God.
usually I'm either rolling full health or in the middle of a battle. I don't know. There's not a lot of wiggle room.
Yeah.
We'll see. Yeah. I think I played on normal mode. It's usually where I start.
I will admit I did change it to give me story for 2 fights.
Which fights?
Gnaw and
Gnaw
and
How dare you mispronounce weird
Sorry.
old Scandinavian Norse words?
Gnaw and King Rolf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one's right. I was watching a completionist video and he called Bergier Burger. And I'm
would
like,
call it Burger,
I'm
too.
like, that's good, dude. Burger's still a good name. This is my buddy, French fry.
Otherwise, yeah, most of the story I did on balance. So
I should have changed it down to give me a story for Gnaw and King Rolf, maybe.
it was so frustrating with Gnaw.
Gnaw was worse than Rolf.
Yeah.
Rolf was frustrating.
Yeah.
He wasn't the worst berserker for me, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I forget. There was 2 difficult berserker fights. We'll talk about that.
Okay,
a little
sure,
bit
we'll talk
later.
about it.
And you probably played on normal your first time.
I want to say I played hard because I normally play on a harder difficulty almost every time. Like right now I'm playing Cyberpunk. I play that on hard.
Yeah.
I played Hogwarts on the hardest difficulty because that game is mad easy once you get the hang of it.
There's nothing worse than when you start a game on normal mode and it's frustratingly easy,
Yeah.
and they don't let you alter it on the go. Yeah, because I probably won't play a lot of 60-hour games twice. And yeah.
Well, I was in a rush to get it to you. Plus, I knew that I wasn't going to beat everything this time around. Like, I didn't beat all the Berserkers this time around because I was going to go through and play New Game Plus. And that's when I'm going to do all the completionist shit.
Yeah.
And New Game Plus is not out yet.
No, and correct me if I'm wrong, but on God of War 2018, it was a patch. It was an update. It was not available at launch.
Correct.
So I'm assuming they'll probably do the same thing again. At least I hope they do because I do not want to grind for that gear again.
Did they release that right when the new one came out? When Ragnarok came out? Is that why they released that patch for God of War? The first one, 2018?
I don't know when the patch arrived for 2018.
It was years ago because after it was like I beat God
Maybe
of War.
like a year after the game came out.
Okay.
It was there as soon as I beat God of War 2018 the first time, and I played it late. I played it like mid 2019, something like that. So I want to say maybe 6 months after release.
Not many games, like New Game Plus. Oh, sure, I can bring my armor. That's fun. There is the perk, like we said earlier, spoilers, if you're still here and you haven't left. I would just love to go back and watch Tyr with like a really close eye because you just know it's fucking Odin screwing around the whole time. So when you go
I love
back,
that part of the game.
what's that?
I said that was my favorite moment of the entire game. I think.
It's in retrospect, those are just the best moments. because I was watching a lot of videos trying to just like pick apart what was going on.
Sure.
And it's fascinating. It's good stuff. Also, just music. Bear McCreary, another great soundtrack. Brad has resisted the urge to buy more vinyl, though I didn't buy this one. Good job, Brad. This is just for me.
When I worked at Eagle Park with you, I used to play the 2018 God of War soundtrack in the kitchen to get us all psyched up for the rushes on the weekend.
Yeah.
To the point where I think that year it showed up on my Spotify Wrapped. And I was like, damn, I got a problem.
Yeah.
Damn, that's not a problem. It ain't no problem whatsoever.
Just pumping people up.
Yeah,
man.
exactly, man.
Yeah, it's like Turnover, My Chemical Romance, God of War. I'm like, no way. You're in the top 10. How'd you get
How
here?
did you get this? What is this?
Yeah, the soundtrack's great, but I would be wondering if I went and listened to it again if it's anything other than a bunch of Gregorian chants. Just like, whoa.
Dude, it makes cleaning your room or doing the dishes so epic.
Yeah.
You got no idea, man.
You pick up an old shirt covered in beer, and
like,
it's just
whoa.
like a light opens up through the window.
And
That was good.
I just almost did the Skyrim thing, though. The same thing you did.
Yeah.
I was going to do the Dragonborn.
I'd say when I start chanting, it turns into that or possibly Halo. Let's
voice
talk
can't get that
about
high anymore.
some of our characters.
Okay.
We mentioned Kratos a bunch.
Yes.
Did you guys have anything you wanted to mention specifically about Kratos from this game?
He's really grown.
Surprisingly.
Yeah.
Actually, yes.
I was gonna say, like, when you get to the it's funny because like after I was done with this game, I was like, I'm gonna go replay 2018. I'm gonna go do it because I'm like balls deep in this right now, where I want to just keep playing God of War, and I'm all done with this. Like I just 100%ed it 2 days ago, and so I go back, and like that's when I first hear again, like, close your mind to it, close everything, close your heart to their feeling. They're not gonna feel the same for you. And then I just realized, like, at the end of this game, it's like, no, you can open your mind, son. It's okay. I'm like, man, it's just great.
Well, I did the same thing. I
Yeah.
went back and played 2018 the moment I finished this one. And like when they kill the deer at the beginning and he like thinks about putting his hand on Atreus' shoulder, but even that's too much for him.
Yep.
And then in this game, they have come so far. It's like, you fucking dad of the year.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, it's so cool, especially seeing that just build up, or I shouldn't say build up, but like actually like fix itself, where they actually resolve their father son
The tension.
that they got going on there, especially like, you know, Atreus goes, okay, first of all, for Atreus, he's just like, I can't go to Odin, then my dad'll die, but if I go to Odin, then I can maybe figure some stuff out. I'm gonna go to Odin. I'm like, wait, no, you just said that your dad was gonna die if you go to Odin. What the fuck's wrong with you? Anyways,
But also, Atreus needs to make his own mistakes.
That's true,
He
yes.
needs to be his own person.
it's true.
Kratos, I think that's the biggest arc that I experienced from him in the game, is him just like coming to terms with Atreus becoming a man.
Yeah.
And also admitting that it's okay to be weak and okay to be wrong.
Absolutely.
Kratos is ready for therapy.
We get there close. We get there at the end of the first one, and I love that it's a more personal journey on him accepting him as a man than it is in the first one accepting him as a god. Like, feel like those two should almost be the inverse, just because of a power dynamic. But like the emotional, like, this is my son, he's becoming a man.
Yeah.
Out overshadowing like my son is a god and I hate gods is a big deal.
I like to kill gods, but he's a god.
What do I do? That's
Jinx.
twice now.
I know, that's it.
Well, and it's also when he realizes he might lose his son, he has to like come to terms with how much he cares about him and loves him.
Right.
Which fathers, at least in my experience and the experience of many people, a little less loving, a little less affectionate. At one point, my dad's like, "We don't hold hands anymore." I was like, "Okay."
All right, yeah, I guess. Cool, man.
And that's Kratos, I think, reminds me of a Dothraki person. In Game of Thrones, there's no word for thank you in Kratos. There is no word for sorry in Kratos. And in this game, he says sorry and thank you. And I was like,
I know.
that's the biggest arc for me, is when he apologizes and Atreus just fucking throws it back. He's like, don't be sorry, dude, be better. And he drops the mic
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
And Kratos is like,
dead.
Kratos has this look like, you motherfucker did that. Yeah, he does that straight up, that meme, that nod.
Yep. He's like, that's my boy right there. That's my boy.
Me. I did that.
Yo, Tyr, get out here. Look at my son.
Look at that. I've been on your ass the whole time, brother. Okay, just goddamn.
Yeah, I love that moment quite a bit. There's also one moment for Kratos that just really struck home to me. He comes home and someone's talking to him. He's like, I'm going to bed. And he just walks into his room. He throws his weapons on the ground, just throws his clothes off and lays down.
Yeah.
I'm like, you haven't slept since I saw you in the first game, God of War 1.
So you got to be exhausted.
Just finally, that dude works pretty hard.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they only take one little nap before they have to go to Ragnarok and do their thing or battle Odin and stuff. I like how they sleep in the tent there. And he's like, all right, well, I didn't sleep well because I had this weird dream about my wife, and now I'm back. I got to go kill this other guy.
God dang, Ragnarok again.
I can't believe this.
Atreus / Loki. Fantastic.
Yes. I think I was like in the first one in 2018, I was like annoyed with him a little bit. I mean, because he was like a cocky asshole when he figured out he was a god and everything. And I guess that's the point of the whole thing. But
I haven't been 8 in a long time or whatever he was.
It's hard to relate.
Right. But then, and you see him in this game. It's just almost night and day. Because he's actually he doesn't have control in the beginning. Obviously, he turns into that bear. And then he figures out, he's like, okay, I can control this. And it gets better. It's just, as the game progresses, it's really good seeing Atreus being able to be his own person, sort of.
He really steals the show in this game. I feel like he is kind of the highlight outside of Odin being an awesome villain, but Atreus my
Odin boner is rising. We gotta stay on Atreus.
Okay. Chill.
Yeah, no, but Atreus, being with him for his mistakes and seeing him kind of go off on his own, that for me really made the game. Because Kratos is great. I love playing as Kratos, but I really kind of savored those moments as Atreus.
I think the fear that all of us had was Kratos is going to die.
Yeah.
Yep.
They tease it the whole fucking game.
Yep.
I'm like, he's going to die. This is it. He's dead.
And also, I'm sitting there, it's like, yeah, he's pretty old. He's killed 50 gods.
Yeah.
It's okay. Maybe it's time. And I was struggling for the first part of this game. I remember talking with you about that, Tyler. And I was like, all right, Thor shows up. We fight Thor. And it's just the same. Baldur shows up. We fight Baldur. Mm-hmm. And all right, we're going to go solve some very simple puzzles. We're going to go explore. And it's beautiful, but I'm like, this is just very samey, and I wasn't getting a ton out of it. Mm-hmm. I think the narrative is a little, it fluctuates in how good it is. And there are low points for sure, and there are things that don't work, and then there are just moments that are some of the best ever. Mm-hmm. But the moment when Atreus sneaks out and Sindri is his buddy, I was like, this is the most excited I've been in the game thus far.
Up until that point, I feel like the game really suffers from trying to be an epic cinematic experience. There's a lot of cutscenes. There's a lot of kind of filler trying to get you to that point. And that was my big concern when you asked me how I liked it. I was like, there's just one thing I don't like. And it's that I had to play 8-9 hours before I really got to a point where I was like, okay, I got something new in this new game to sink my teeth into. Mm-hmm. But I agree, it felt very rinse and repeat and really heavy on the cutscenes and shit at the first part of the game.
Well, I think that's the thing that did it for me though, is that first part of the game is they still put that that rift between Kratos and Atreus, and they really build it up. Atreus going through his teenage years, trying to rebel against his parents and everything, or his dad and everything. And I think that's what really made it exciting for me in the beginning. I know it was basically the same as you guys mentioned before as the 2018 game, but I think just that aspect of it, of him growing up and being that rebellious teenager for a second was exciting. And then we got to that part where Atreus got to go off and do his own thing. That was cool.
So good.
Yeah.
Just bad decisions right away.
Yeah.
It's I'm going to go see Freya. Since you're oh boy.
Oh, are you sure?
She's going to kill you. She's going to kill us.
Anyways, if you're not back here in a million pieces, we'll go home.
Atreus's story in this is fantastic. And I think they're very much teeing him up to become
Yeah.
the protagonist for the next game. Kratos will definitely be around. I don't know if he'll be that's going to be a really tough sell when they're going to just have, all right, this is the Loki of war or whatever.
I think the game will just be called Loki at that point. Or it'll be
Loki's a good name, but he's also Atreus, man. I don't know. They make Loki seem like it's not a good thing, but that's just his giant name. So I think, I don't know. Loki would be a good name, I suppose.
Well, do you think they would call it like God of War Atreus or Loki or something like that? I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Son of the God of the War.
God of War, the teenage
Son
years.
of God. Yeah, Son of God.
Son of God of War. It's a clunky ass title, but
It's
I'm
like
there for
Rise
it.
of the Planet, or what was it? What was that fucking Rise of the Planet of the Apes? Yeah, what was the third one called? They did the same thing.
Return of the Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
They had a dumbass title for that third movie. It was like the same thing.
Dumbass title. Mimir.
Yeah.
Papa
absolutely.
Mimir. The
Papa
best.
Mimir. Yeah.
We're not worthy.
I might get a Mimir tattoo. I've thought about it.
Would you get it right on your right butt cheek?
Yeah, I was going to say, would you get it down there?
Yeah, I get it. I'd get a tramp stamp.
That's fair.
A little bit
No,
to the
no.
right.
It wouldn't be a tramp stamp.
No, I'd get it more up on the hip, like where he hangs,
Yeah.
like a little bit to the right. Tramp stamps can be really long. You can go,
fair enough.
you can go hip to hip with those.
As dumb as it would look, should Kratos not have like one of those like baby holders so and Mimir can be like facing forward?
Well, finally.
Yeah.
But then how would he say, "Behind you, brother"?
I know that too. But then he wouldn't have to smell
but
Kratos'
also,
ass.
Yeah. You farted, brother.
Yeah.
Couldn't help but notice you. Tried to fart again.
I'm
without
still
me
down
noticing.
here.
Still
when
here.
You went in the bathroom, but I'm still down here.
Oh, sorry. Sorry about that.
Also, don't put me on the floor again. Mimir, Alistair Duncan. He is the smartest man alive. I put down half Siri, half GPS. And former employee of Odin,
Yes.
longtime advisor who kind of helped make everything worse and then also tried to make things better.
Yes.
And I don't know A Midsummer's Night Dream, but he is a character from that. He's Puck.
Oh, really?
He is like a fairy character. I wouldn't call him a fairy. It's like a fairy style of thing. If I knew more about it, I'd say. But he is a character that like came from another mythology over there.
No.
No shit.
It's like Kratos.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kratos. Fuck yeah. All right. Speaking of people that are threatened by other foreigners coming to their land, now we can talk about Papa Odin. Odin, voiced by Richard Schiff.
Papa Odin.
Papa Odin, Daddy Odin. Brad Odinson is my new name.
There you go. All right.
Odin is fucking diabolical, entertaining, fantastic to listen to. Soft voice, dickhead, hate him. Be nice to Thor. He's a good boy.
Right.
Master manipulator.
For sure.
Yeah.
Which is what we've been warned
Yeah. Several times.
for a long time now.
Mostly by Mimir.
And like Freya in the first game
yes,
has
that's
her
true, yes,
fair
yeah.
piece to say about him.
Mimir has
That makes sense. You know, they're married.
Mimir
Yeah.
has a really good quote right away in the first scene when Odin and Thor show up, and he says, "Don't listen
Don't
to
trust
him."
that bastard.
He says, if he says snow is white, he's lying. And it's when you just take it literally, of course not, but the only reason Odin would ever say that to you is for Odin's own purposes.
Yeah.
He's manipulating you every step of the way. He's either like being nice and complimenting you, and then immediately, like every time he says something nice, he takes it away a little bit later.
Yeah.
Or he's being very harsh. He is always up to trying to get people to do things for him. He meets the one person who doesn't give a fuck about anything that he has to say. He comes in and he plays every card on Kratos. And Kratos has one response to him. Nope.
No.
Yeah. I mean,
Let's not have war. I'll be nice. I won't kill your son. We can laugh. Haha. No.
Just don't go after Tyr.
No
what do
deal.
you say?
Man, unstoppable force and a movable object. And Odin is someone who needs to control people to like feel safe and secure. He feels threatened for his own mortality, and just love that Kratos shows up, and he's the one person that Odin doesn't know what to do with.
yeah, and it's awesome that Atreus even slightly falls for it, because Atreus kind of thinks that he can work both sides of the field there
Sure,
for the
yeah.
majority of the game. And
double agents.
And he's 10 steps behind.
And you have Thor, who is arguably Odin's strongest, favorite, most awesome son, right?
Sure, yeah.
Like in most Norse stories, Thor's the number one head honcho under Odin a lot of times.
I've also heard that the portrayals of Thor being a bigger dude, Odin being like a much smaller, like quieter dude, is a much more traditional approach to how Norse mythology would have shown them.
Yeah, in Vikings, he's all like fucking one-eyed and hunched over, and like he's an older, creepy-looking dude.
Yeah, so I heard it's actually much more accurate to like how their portrayals would be.
Instead of Zeus, who's like bigger than life and like bigger than everything.
Thor is a very sad character.
He is.
And
wow.
But his relationship with Odin.
Thor had a really rough time between like Thor Ragnarok up through God of War Ragnarok.
It's like, man, this sucks, dude.
And he's also used as a tool, though, to like recruit Atreus, because Atreus sees how poorly Odin is treating his favorite son and how well he's being treated.
Yeah.
And it all of a sudden it kind of elevates Atreus in his own mind, like, well, he's treating me better than fucking Thor.
son, yeah.
Odin is nice to everybody except Thor. Why are you standing here? Go, do something.
Right,
Get
yeah.
out of my face. You think you're smart enough to teach someone?
Belittling him, yeah.
Oh, it's so hard to watch. And it's great because right away, when Kratos says no to Odin, that's when he tells Thor to attack Kratos. So that's when Odin he's like, all right, I'll go through Atreus to get this done. But Thor is played by Ryan Hurst. I know him as
Opie.
I know him as Lump from Lady Killers, the Tom Hanks film.
No, that's Opie from Sons of Anarchy.
Opie from Sons of Anarchy.
I thought it was who's the guy?
Ben Kissel.
That would have been Ben Kissel, yeah. No, I thought it was Josh Brolin. When I like heard his voice, I thought it was him, and I was like, "Wait a second, no fucking way!" And then it was not him. So
it was almost broke my immersion because I watched Sons of Anarchy a lot when I was younger. I liked the show,
okay,
and so I know Opie's voice, and the entire game, every time Thor talked, I'm like, "Who the fuck is that?" But I couldn't look it up because I didn't want to see any spoilers.
Right.
And it didn't hit me until...
And you would if you did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You don't.
And it
you
hit
never
me
know.
at the end of the game. Like
10 reasons why Thor died. I'm like, come on! God damn you, Watch Mojo. I just wanted to know the actor.
and they put that video out like 2 days after the game
That's
comes
so-
out.
that's
They just put a Hogwarts one out that has a fuck ton of spoilers in it. I'm like, you gotta let the game breathe.
That's
Right,
why you have to play things like day one to not get spoiled. Or, I mean, we missed the newest Last of Us episode by
I still haven't seen it.
by 1 day. And I was just like,
Oh, you haven't seen it yet? Okay.
luckily I work on construction sites and nobody wants to talk about anything. So I'm fine there. So Thor is great. We killed his sons. He has a great daughter.
Yeah.
Thruda?
Yeah.
Thrud. She's fantastic. Thruda, Mina Sunwall plays her. She teams up with Atreus a little bit. I thought she was fun. And Lady Sif, Thor's wife, who is very much wearing the pants in the relationship, I would say.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a tough family situation.
Thor, yeah, I was like, Thor's just got a broken home, something. I don't know. There's something fucked with that whole thing. Like,
recovering alcoholic.
right.
Yep.
And 2 recently deceased sons.
Yeah.
And then the killer has moved into their bedroom.
I know.
Yeah.
And Thor didn't drink for like a week. So mad props to you for waiting that long.
Good job.
Thor. Yeah.
But I will say that bar fight scene was
Oh
pretty,
my
that was fucking sick.
That was so
It
epic.
was so
Yeah.
fun.
It's just ill-advised to wield Mjolnir while drunk.
I mean, it's like those moments is what makes this game for me. Like
Right.
when the cinematic like cutscenes and all that shit meets with the gameplay, and then they interchange so quickly.
Sure.
That's where this game just like chef's kiss. I
Yeah.
cannot get over it. It like I could just picture it as an HBO show in my head, and I'm like, this is
might be.
gold. Amazon.
It is gonna,
Amazon.
It is going to be a
Okay, it
show.
is. Okay.
Recently, Cody Barlog says, Last of Us has made things very tough for us right now.
yeah.
Yeah, and I just saw Halo Season 1 available at the library for rent. So that says
Oh,
says
boy.
where we're at. As we're continuing to talk about some characters, Freya, I think, is fine, but I didn't love her in this game.
It was just, she went out for blood, and then all of a sudden she was like, you know what? I don't hate you that much right now. And I'm like, well, I guess.
The heel turn was horrible for me. When she was the, like, vengeance that is around every corner. Loved it.
Yeah.
And then she went, like, as a fight to them, she's like, I guess we're friends again. And it was like,
just like
way,
nothing.
it should have been something different.
They needed to make their interests align more rather than just defeating that time warp dragon. Because I don't remember anybody's name from this game. I played it.
Neathog was a cool thing to fight.
Yes. But it's like the moment that happens and we're going to go find her brother, like it just didn't feel like, I agree with you, enough to make their interests truly align. They should have done some more with Atreus and her, you know, the fact that she cares about him and so does Kratos. It was there somewhere.
It was just too big of a turn too quick for me.
That could have been the thing.
Like Game of Thrones season 8. Sorry.
No, that's fine. That could have been the thing, though. Like, maybe when she saw Atreus, that was kind of like the beginning of this turnaround. And then, then when she saw Kratos and she's like, well, I'm not going to kill you. Let's go free me from this one thing that Odin has me captured here. Like, I think maybe that... I'm trying to, like, weigh whether or not that would be as much as killing her son.
Maybe there could be a thing where Kratos and Atreus, like, we have to free her, even though... she'll just follow us through the realms, and then the bird follows you through there and you don't know it's her the whole time.
Yeah.
And then she realizes you're trying to save her, and then she's like, why would you help me? That does have some of the best, like, background dialogue.
Sure.
Just because it was the most of Kratos. He's like, yeah, I have a little brother. His name was Deimos. And he's just talking about, like, PSP lore. I'm like, what are you going to say right now?
Yeah.
What are you... like, I just love him casually throwing out stories. A very rare dialogue you might get is him saying, one time I was fighting in a tournament, and it was with princes.
Oh, yeah. That was Mimir. He asked about it.
It's like princes and robots.
And the world's best musician.
And the world's best musician. He's talking about Parappa the Rappa in PS Battle All-Stars Royal.
No shit.
He's like, we don't talk about that.
He was a rapping dog.
Because I think at first you thought maybe they're going to talk about Mortal Kombat, but then
Yeah,
they went
'cause he was there too.
They were talking about PlayStation All Stars.
And they also call back to other PlayStation history in a very cool way. Those books of poems you're collecting.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah. What are they?
Well, they're all like old PlayStation games. Like I think one was Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah.
Other ones were like Ghost of
Tsushima.
That's one. Yeah.
Bloodborne. Like
Yeah.
the poems and like the covers are like the logos from the games. They're like famous PlayStation games. The poems you're getting.
Yeah.
If you didn't know.
Shit.
Yeah.
That went so far over my head.
Well, that's the thing. Okay, so I didn't secretly, but I watched a video today about all the Easter eggs, and that was one of them. I'm like, oh shit, that is really cool. I didn't know
that went
I was
over my
playing.
Well, I forget. It was the Death Stranding one. I was like, this is a stupid poem. Like, this doesn't make sense in Scandinavia. It just sounds like Death Stranding or something. Delivering packages, Black Goo, Troy Baker, pizza delivery. And I'm like, wait a second. I know what's going on here. Brock and Sindri return. Two of the best homies you could ever ask for.
Super upgrade to their story too. I was
Oh my
psyched for the
God.
level of involvement they had in the turn of events.
It was cool that they got to be side characters too, and you can actually use them as like your sidekicks.
Yeah.
Well, and it's nice, but there's also this thing where Sindri and Brock almost always are going out of their way to be very helpful to you, and you don't really do a lot for them in return. Like, all right, we're going to go to your house, and you're going to upgrade all of our weapons, and you're going to give us this, like, drop near, like, super rare relic. And Kratos does say thank you only when you're, like, picking up the chest of shit that he forgot on the battlefield. But those dudes are, slowly, silently carrying the whole party, and they're not really getting a lot of love.
Yeah.
And which makes it extra heartbreaking, the turn of events, when Brock ultimately goes full homie status. And he's the only one who's like, no, fuck you, Tyr. He's talking way up at this guy.
Yeah.
And he's
You know
like,
that shit ain't right.
yeah, you don't wait Asgard.
I would love to replay the game just to see if it is indicated at any point when he figures it out.
Well, it's in that when the Tyr picks up the mask, because that's when Tyr's like, not only does he say, I'm ready to fight, he says that I have a way into Asgard. And Brock's like, that's fucking real convenient right now. And he's like, also, why are you calling the kid Loki? You know his name's Atreus. And he even says, all you've been doing is making passable dirt soup And I think that's what sets Odin off the most.
Yeah.
My soup is great. You son of a bitch.
I think Odin's favorite part of his vacation is because what Tyr does most of
Is that what you're calling it?
what Tyr
Odin's
does
vacation?
it would be Harry Potter 7, but it'd be like Odin 7 and the vacation at Sindri's house.
Weekend at Sindri's.
Weekend at Sindri's. Weekend at Sindri's. It just okay, I got the thumbnail.
There you go. We found it.
Yeah, but what he really does all that time that he's not like elsewhere is make soup. And if I had all the time in the world, I tell you what, I would be making more food at home. And I appreciate that Odin just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna make soup for 2 hours today.
So good.
I love it. Yeah, and we also learned with Brock and Sindri throughout the game. Sindri just also showing how much he's learned to trust Atreus and considers him a friend. He's like, just so you know, Brock is actually dead, and I kind of took his soul, and that's a major thing.
Yeah,
because what he's doing is now when Brock dies, like he does later, he's no longer able to come back. His soul is like lost forever.
Yeah.
Which is a major thing to do to your brother.
Right, yeah.
That's a very selfish move by Sindri.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like there might be a possibility that there was a way to rectify that. They just didn't have the time. That's what I was thinking in my brain. Like maybe later this is going to be a side quest.
Could be the next game. Bring Brock back.
Heaven forbid if Kratos dies, Atreus' next game would be to like go into hell and rescue Kratos. I think that was something they were considering for this game.
Man.
But they're like, Kratos has gone to hell to get people back a few times.
But I mean, that would be kind of cool in this setting, like with these new things that he's doing here.
He's just banging like 3 Hellwalker ladies, just rotating those thumbsticks.
Yeah,
that's it.
I was reliving my 20s.
Okay,
leave me alone, boy. I'm busy.
I will say
you could have knocked.
I got you a new mommy. Anyways, no.
Her name is Chardonnay.
And I met her down the street at the strip club. It's great.
I think she's Greek.
I think she came here over too. Anyway, no. I guess I don't know if I fully understood. So okay, I understood Brock was dead.
Yeah.
I don't understand how he kind of found out when they were talking to that mermaid lady.
The Lady of the Forge.
He couldn't speak to her.
Okay.
Because he had no spirit.
Oh.
She also couldn't see him.
Yes. She had
Really?
no idea that he was
That's
there.
why they okay. I thought that's what it was, but I wasn't I was a little confused at that part.
He's like, it's me trying to talk to a bartender who's ignoring me. He's like, can I get a drink? And they're like, they don't even see me. Like, I have no soul in here.
Yeah.
And Kratos like, give him a drink. He wants a chocolate milk.
What? Who? Oh, your friend?
Yeah, and it's they realize it. Kratos realizes it with him too. And Brock is such a homie. He doesn't even mention it to Sindri's that I know what you did, you little twerp.
Yeah, did Kratos know at that time too? That
Kratos says perhaps she couldn't see you. Or he's the one who like kind of pieces it together with Brock.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they realize it together, and then Sindri was worried the whole time because Sindri knew if they went.
Oh yeah, he might find.
And also Sindri's like, I'll go. And Kratos for no reason is like, no, Brock's coming. I think Kratos just likes Brock more.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. I would rather spend time with Brock than Danny Tanner over there cleaning the house.
Danny Tanner. Never thought I'd see that comparison.
Whatever happened to sensibility?
Milkman, the paper boy.
That gives a whole new meaning to them all living in the same house, hiding from Odin.
Yeah. Now I
it
see
is literally a full out.
you look, and it's just like Sindri, starring Sindri and Atreus.
And then they're like, Mimir is pulled up from behind the back.
know.
They just add another one in there featuring Sindri. Yeah.
Someone spills something, and Brock's just like, man, shaking his head.
Yeah.
Sindri's wearing a little apron.
I was going to say, someone was wearing an apron. I couldn't think of
It shows Tyr and it says starring Odin. And it's like, wait a minute.
Wait,
hold on.
what the fuck? Wait a second. The fuck does that mean?
We get introduced to Angerboda. She gets some pretty good scenes. She's more of a side character.
Yes.
Laia de Leon Hayes is her name. I know one of the things I knew going into this game when she was introduced as Angerboda, and one of the things that just popped up you can't even avoid, Atreus' wife, Loki's wife or whatever it's going to be. spoilers if you don't know Norse mythology, guys. Sorry.
Well, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
But
Well,
the writing's on the
figured,
wall.
Yeah, I was like, you figured.
Also,
I was Thrud was like a
Thruda was
possible.
Yeah.
Possible.
Oh, they're gonna have. They could easily do a love triangle
Yeah.
sort of thing, and then
and then eventually, Atreus
but
picks
Thruda's like, I'm into women.
like
yeah.
there, and Angerboda's like me too, and
Atreus is to Steve Harrington the whole time.
It's hard to be a single mother when you're a teenager.
And your best friend is a
you have
literal
kids.
talking head.
Yeah.
I will say that scene that the when you're Atreus with Angerboda in Jotunheim, it felt like forever.
Yes, and
Jesus Christ.
I've said this many times on the podcast, and Brad showed me the video. As soon as I was like halfway through that, I didn't know I was halfway through it. I was like, Jakey's right. My goopy goblin gamer brain is gonna fucking hate playing this part of the game again.
Because it's not gameplay heavy. It's not fun gameplay.
No.
And it's
riding
just
a water ox, getting some shit
yeah. And I'm like, I like
slowly.
I
At
like
least
your
it's-
water rocks, Angerboda. It's really cute.
It's
And we
pretty to
go.
look at.
Yeah,
And the problem
it is. Yeah,
The problem is when the game does start developing a big thrust to the narrative and you're excited to know what happens next. Nope. 2 hours in Jotunheim.
I would
Thank God that fight with her grandma Gryla shows
yes,
up.
that was good. Yeah,
I
like,
would
thank God.
prefer that entire segment just be a cinematic at that point.
Right.
At least that way I can get up and make some dino chicken nugs in my air fryer. I can grab a beer. I can go make fun of Devin. I can spend time,
Or
and I don't have to pause it.
if they need it to be necessary, just like you could hit a button that's like autoplay, which sounds horrible for a video game, but fine for a game like this.
At least for
Where
that part,
It could
yeah.
like autoplay a segment and you could just let it happen.
Well, it's like,
Well, it's like in. Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
were you gonna say Cyberpunk?
I would say Red Dead.
Oh yeah, same concept
Yeah,
where you
okay.
can skip the ride after
Yeah.
the necessary dialogue.
Yep.
Yeah. And there are definitely points. One thing this game is great at is the extra dialogue. That's just like background extra flow. Like we mentioned, Kratos talking about like, yeah, this one time I was climbing a Titan.
Yeah, he talks about his old life. Like, I remember there was one he was like telling a story to Freya, and Freya's like, "Is this about you?" He's like, "No, this isn't. No, this isn't about my old life."
This is about Drados,
Drados.
the cool guy.
He's got a blue scar on
Yeah,
his
it's
face.
Big
Blue
muscles.
paint.
Yeah.
Just the guys from Eiffel 65. That's fine.
He's covered in dirt and not ashes. He looks totally different.
Totally different guy.
It's actually more of a soot, but who's cutting hairs at this point?
Kratos, tell me, why is your face all white? Oh, it's the ashes of my wife and kid.
Yeah, it's cool. Holy shit!
Sorry, I asked, brother.
Oh my god.
There is one moment when Freya is very mad. She's like, "What would you know about losing a kid?" Kratos is like,
It's like, bitch. It's like I will.
"Ooh, you
you
don't
don't
know
know.
what you don't know who I am."
Right. Yeah.
That's Kratos' fault, though.
Right.
He needs to be more open with people that are close to him. in his life.
exactly. Yeah.
Well, also, do you want to be out drinking with your homie? And there's like, "Yeah, I killed my wife and kid once." I was working for this guy, Ares.
Check, please.
Yeah, I was like,
Check.
hey, I
I'm gonna
gotta
take
go.
an Uber. Thanks
Yeah,
for the
don't
ride
worry.
here.
Why'd
Yeah,
you
man.
bring him?
He's weird, man. Probably killed his wife and
He
kids.
says those are his ashes. Of his wife and kid.
Holy shit.
I thought he was just real pale.
I thought that was like a scarf, but it was a head. It was like talked.
Oh my god. Hey, what's up? Hey, don't poke me.
I like the head more than him.
Yeah.
We meet Tyr, who's not Tyr. We do meet Tyr at the end, though, a little bit.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
I liked going to that prison and all of a sudden, like, are you sure it's the real Tyr? I'm like, wait, Odin's dead. It's fine. It's cool. It's actually him.
It's safe. It's safe.
It's all good.
It's very much the same thing. I think one thing that Odin does very well is when he's pretending to be Tyr, he is 98% of the time just saying what Tyr would say, because Tyr did become a pacifist.
Mm-hmm.
If you let Tyr out after the game is done, you find him like when you're traveling around to different
Yeah.
areas.
Oh, I never did that.
He's
Doing-
doing
yeah.
Tai Chi.
Yeah,
spots.
he's doing like yoga
No
and
And
shit.
he's
shit.
like,
yeah.
"Good job finding peace."
Now let me be by myself. Please leave me alone.
Another person I probably don't want to go to the bar with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who voices Tyr?
Ben Prendergast.
What else
Fuck
has
is
he
he
been in?
from?
I don't know.
All right, I'm on it.
Yeah, you got it.
How Heimdall, Scott Porter. Heimdall, I just put down a dickhead of godlike
Man,
proportions.
as soon as I saw Heimdall, I'm like, I cannot wait to kill this guy. It's going to be so good.
And they really test Kratos, where Kratos is like, that's it. I'm not killing any more gods. And then they put Heimdall up on a platter.
They're like,
they're like,
are you sure?
I really don't want to kill him.
Like, even he tried to get, okay, it was awesome. When you kill Heimdall, like, Mimir, like, reacts, and he's just like, oh my God, how did you do this? And it reminded me of that Men in Black scene where, like, Tommy Lee Jones and Will Smith are talking to that guy at the pawn shop, and they're just like, hey, like, he points the gun out, he's like, Tommy Lee Jones, like, counting to 3, and he's just like, I warned him, and then, like, he shoots him, and then Will Smith is like, I'm gonna kill you, and he's like, well, I warned him, you warned him, and then he comes back, it's the whole thing. I told you I wasn't gonna do. But anyways, yeah.
I didn't want to kill you. I tried not to kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He gave him a chance.
He has the Galore horn. Mostly I don't like Heimdall.
Also, awesome. I really enjoyed the boss battle.
Yeah, it was fun.
It's a super violent death, which was awesome. And the satisfaction I got from killing that motherfucker was fantastic.
Yeah.
That would probably be one of, like, if I'm doing a top 5, I got Tyr's reveal, the Odin's reveal, Heimdall's up there too.
To me, the Heimdall battle I thought was good. I thought it was a well done battle. What I like when I think God of War, though, is the epic scale, like, big. This is an important god or an important aspect of mythology. So when Nidhogg, like the dragon who tends the world tree, was a boss, I'm like, this is the good shit. This is what I'm here for. Yeah. When you're fighting Grandma Gryla, and you're mostly just like fucking up her cooking pot. Yeah. And I was still like, it's like baby's first god fight a little bit for Atreus. But I was like really into it. Anytime that you're going up there against,
fight. That was good.
And even though that I thought the Thor battle in the first part was a little bit too the samesies as before,
right? As Boulder, I thought that too. Yeah,
but the Thor fights were fun.
They were.
Yeah,
and
I liked it when he killed you and he's like, "Nah, I'm not done," and then just gets you back. That was so cool. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, and okay, so we mentioned Angerboda and Atreus being together. One of the things I was most excited for this game is in mythology, Jormungandr, the giant snake, is their child. And I was like, how are they doing this one? Because they tease it in 2018 where when he talks to Jormungandr the first time, Mimir's like, he says he knows you. And I was like,
that's right, he does, yeah.
And that's because the snake in Gryla's place, they take the giant soul and put it in there, and the snake slithers away.
Yeah.
And then there's a throwaway line later where they're like, I think the snake's gotten a lot bigger.
Yeah.
So Jormungandr came from, that's when he was born. They put the soul of that giant into the dead snake without a soul. And it became Jormungandr.
That was awesome.
Shit.
I forgot about that completely.
Yeah.
And Thor hits him so hard during Ragnarok, it sends him back in time. Jormungandr gets sent back in time during Ragnarok is what happens.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow, they really made that.
Yeah, that's really.
What is the Doctor Who phrase? The timey-wimey?
Timey-wimey.
Bullshit?
Timey-wimey bullshit.
Yeah, they made that timey-wimey bullshit
Doctor
work.
Who poster. It's some timey-wimey bullshit.
I have a high tolerance for timey-wimey bullshit. They really nailed it with that one.
Yeah.
There's one thing that hasn't been confirmed as a mystery from 2018 that they thought would be answered in this game. The person who sounds the horn right before you meet Jormungandr in 2018, you don't know who sounds the horn. And we don't know in this game either. And Cody Barlog has said, no one knows yet. I will. He says eventually I will be messed up and like drunk enough or something, and I'll just tweet it at you. But I'm not telling you yet. He has said that like we don't know who actually sounded the horn. That's a mystery.
I know who it was.
Angerboda?
It was Troy Baker.
It's Troy Baker. Troy Baker's in this game. He plays.
I don't doubt it.
He plays Bitter Squirrel.
That's right. He
does.
That's
right.
That's right. You told me that.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
That man is everywhere. I'm pretty sure if I go home tonight, open my pantry, he's going to be right beside the ramen
Enjoy
noodles.
the latest episode of Last of Us.
Okay, so real quick, can I take a quick tangent?
And here's Tyler's tangent.
Okay, so I knew from an article before I've played Last of Us. I wasn't worried about spoilers, so I read an article before this.
Are you spoiling anything from this season?
No, it's my prediction about the episode that I haven't seen that just aired on Sunday.
Okay.
So spoilers for the first 7 episodes of Last of Us
potentially a
possibly.
very lesser spoiler for the final episode about a certain actor that might be in the episode.
I don't even want to know where we're going. Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
kind of like
Troy
I'm kinda
Baker's
like-
in the show.
Yeah.
Okay. My prediction is that Troy Baker plays Daniel.
Okay.
That's my prediction. I haven't seen the episode yet, and I was really drunk at White Reaper last night. I was at a concert, and we went
White
out.
Reaper was in town.
They were at Madison. Oh, do you like White Reaper?
I love White Reaper.
Did we just become best friends?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Dude, Ben knows a shitload about music.
Dude,
I wouldn't say a shitload.
they
but
killed it. But I was at the bar
You
afterwards.
still doing the music podcast?
no.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not doing any podcasts right now. I'm too busy.
You're
doing
literally
this one
doing
right
one
now.
right now.
Yeah.
You're
Oh, I
literally-
mean, okay, sorry, my own podcast. I'm hosting myself.
Sure.
Yeah, White Reaper was great. But I was at the bar, and that was my drunk thought. I was like, I haven't seen him all season. What other big characters are in the first game? He's probably Daniel.
No, he's actually playing Bitter Squirrel in Last of Us.
What is this, a crossover episode?
Wait a second.
We don't have many other characters. There's Freyr, Freya's twin brother. He's a
Cool guy.
bro-y, but good guy.
Yeah, it was kind of brilliant.
Yeah, he's the really popular guy at parties. That's a little too loud, but he's still a nice guy.
His character design reminded me of the tall dwarf from The Hobbit who falls in love with the elf.
Okay, yeah.
That's all I can see.
Good luck me remembering that name.
No, the movie.
Yeah, Bofin? We'll go with Bofin.
Bofin these nuts. I'm sorry. Fuck, I just said. I'm sorry.
We will not apologize. Don't be sorry.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Bofin these nuts. I'm sticking to it.
Be better. Or, no, don't be sorry. Be Bofin.
Be Boba.
Bofin. It's good.
Ratatosker, I thought was going to be a bigger thing than he was when I saw the artwork for him. He just shows up and explains how the tree works a little bit. If you haven't done it, go with Kratos to Ratatosker and fucking hit that chime like 100 times in a row. Ratatosker gets so pissed.
I gotta do it.
Stop with the.
He's like, I see what we're doing.
Like, are you trying to make me angry? I'm not going to indulge this.
It's not painful for my ears. And eventually he just loses it a little bit. It's pretty great. And then we meet a dwarf lady named Lunda. She's voiced by Milena Vaintrub. You might know her from the phone commercials.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
I don't know what else she's done. She was in some nerdy shows.
Was it? She's the pink logo. I'm thinking of pink logo phone.
T-Mobile.
T-Mobile.
That's it, right? That's the commercials.
She's a phone seller.
Is it the AT&T girl?
Yeah.
Oh, it's the AT&T girl.
Yeah.
I love the AT&T girl.
Okay.
She's awesome.
Yep,
Yeah,
she's
that's her.
Lunda.
No shit.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I have a new favorite character.
And her dog is cool too, Helka.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That fucking side quest.
Which I thought was a pig.
I thought it was a pig too.
Yeah. It is an ugly dog.
Because I was like, that's a fucking pig. All right, whatever. That's not a dog. All right. Then I come back later and I look at it closer. I'm like, holy shit, that's a
I need
dog.
you to find my mysterious orb. It's Helka's ball. She lost it. That was
That's the AT&T girl.
yeah.
Damn, she's got some talent.
Good.
I would have never guessed that in a million years.
Commercial with LeBron James. It's, blacksmith and God of War.
London.
really?
Damn.
I can fix your Leviathan X.
Yeah, whatever.
It's like, all right, I guess since Brock's dead and Sindri retired,
Retired. He hates us.
Yeah.
we're still going to live in his house though, right? We all
Is
agree
that
we're
cool?
staying in his
Everyone cool
house.
with that? He's not coming back
He's
for a
not
while, right?
using it anymore right now.
But for what was that? What's the one area that's just hot?
Muspelheim.
Muspelheim. Every time.
Don't worry, in 2 weeks, I will have evacuated all of this knowledge. But
Muspelheim, when you're there and you like go to repair your stuff, she just says the same line over and over again. That's all I could remember was like, oh, I should have brought a cup of water or 20. And every time you go up to her, she says that. I'm like, Jesus Christ. They have other dialogue in this place for this one?
enough with the water.
I'm like, I understand that it's hot in here. Okay, I get it. I'm fighting a bunch of other people here.
This is in 2010. We don't need the same dialogue every time.
Oh my God.
Usually, their use of dialogue is very good.
Yeah.
One thing that I do love about this game is when I am fucking charging around Vanaheim on my canoe left and right. And Mimir's like, let me tell you a tale. I guess we'll do it later.
I know.
Kratos."
Yeah. They wait way too long. I want to hear the stories. So half the
As soon
time
as
I
we
just
start
sit in the boat and I wait.
So the
until
brother looks
story's
at me
done.
and says, I'll tell you later.
Yeah.
Not now. Be vigilant.
Yeah. It's great, well, at least with Ratatoskr, because he'll be in the middle of a sentence. You walk away, he's like, fine then.
Yeah.
But no, they're good at stopping the stories with Mimir in particular. But like they leave little things dangling and then they continue it really well, which I do appreciate.
I was going to say, like he said, continue with your brother, with a story about your brother Freya or something like that. I remember that. That was pretty cool. Good transitions.
My Brad's second big gripe in the game, let me try and solve a puzzle for a couple minutes. Maybe a minute before.
Oh my God! Yeah, before they're just like, "What if you did this?" Shut up! I was almost there.
Yeah,
I literally just walked in this room.
I'm not even in the room, and then all of a sudden Atreus is like, "Try the lever," and I'm like, "We're in a hallway."
I bet you could freeze that water, brother. You're facing the other direction.
Like, how do you see that?
If this is a first-person game from Mimir's perspective, my God. Yeah,
I would definitely get motion sickness then, for sure. Just like, oh my.
Does he close his eyes? His sense of equilibrium. I mean, he's got an inner ear.
I mean, he only has a head. I think he's just fine.
He'll never get ahead in life.
But all right. Well, I'm gonna go.
Yeah, that's about it.
That's it.
What does he call a headache? Just hurt.
My body hurts.
Just hurt.
I'm hurt.
I'm hurt.
Thor doesn't have jokes, but when Mimir gets pulled out, the first time he's like, "You lost weight."
Yeah.
that was pretty funny.
It's like even Thor, he's like depressed and angry. He's like, it's too easy.
And I think that
I'm gonna do it.
Speaking of depressed and angry Thor, I feel like that is such a good take on Thor compared to Chris Hemsworth's very charming, funny Thor. Even though we got fat, depressed Thor for a hot minute there in the MCU, I really appreciate them taking it in a total different direction.
I appreciate being a different direction. I also like Chris Hemsworth Thor a lot because
I'm not discrediting him.
When he was in like the depths of like his depression, he was still worthy, and I found that to be important as well. This Thor, I mean, his climax is when he's with Kratos after the battle, and Kratos.
I didn't get that cutscene.
What?
You said climax.
Oh, and they were climaxing.
I was making a sex joke.
No,
I was making a sex joke, guys.
When Kratos and him are making sweet love.
That's so dumb.
Yeah, that's when you have to do those things again where they pan the camera
in
away
Asgard.
And you see, like, he pushes buttons to bang.
Let's settle this like men.
It's like, all right, yes. Oh my God, I think they're fucking. I don't know.
Yeah, I can't believe
that's
you
not a
both were so confused.
I know, because I was like, wait, what? How did you skip that? Like, how did you? I'm like,
no, I'm sorry. Continue.
Sex, got it.
When Kratos rolls over, the scene where he convinces Thor, like, we don't have to let our kids live in a world like this. It's like it's up to us to do something about it, and that then fucking it's like that one time you stand up for what's right and you do the good thing. Thor is immediately fucking killed about it.
Well, speaking about that, like, so the entire prophecy is that Atreus is going to kill his father, right?
Is it Atreus killing his father, or is it just
It's Atreus holding
a dead?
Yeah, holding
Kratos.
Yes, but it's kind of loosely like
looks like he's offering
Atreus
it to
cannot
Odin.
prevent his father's death, is what I should have said.
Okay, yeah.
And then instead, at the end of the game, to have the inverse of that, have Odin kill his son. I feel like at some point we had some Black Mirror shit where we,
I never thought about
at some
that.
point in the story, the prophecy changed.
Well, the whole point of what Faye did,
Right.
She hid the prophecy of what would ultimately happen so they could be the masters of their own fate. She didn't want Kratos and Atreus to specifically know what was going to happen or how it would happen, so they would have to make their own decisions, and that's how they were able to like alter it. I think that's the what happened with Faye, because she was playing some like 4D chess, because the last like giant mural you see was the one that she hid from everybody.
Yeah. Then why would she? If she's like faking that, why would she put it in there that he's gonna die?
Well, if she knows what's going to happen, then she knows what they have to see when they need to see it.
Oh, fair enough. Okay.
Also, Groa's shrine, when you go there to learn more about the Ragnarok prophecy, with Tyr, not Odin, and then you actually see it, and then Groa's prophecy, she had hidden the truth of how Ragnarok would happen. And if you watch that scene again, Tyr walks up to it because it's Odin, and he's like, he looks really pissed. He's looking around.
Yeah.
And they don't say why he's mad. yoga was bad today. I don't know. Like they don't. Yeah.
There was actually a couple they did a couple Easter eggs of how you could actually tell that Tyr was not Tyr in a couple scenes. Like I think he accidentally called Freya Frigg.
Yeah,
There was that, and then
and it's nice like background dialogue.
Yeah, because you don't even catch it.
It's not in a cutscene. It's one of those like organic scenes.
Yeah.
Do you remember some of the other ones?
There was another one where like that when he was looking at the demise of Odin. When Tyr is walking up to it to get closer, he like just bumps into Atreus like he's not even there, but it's like Odin's like shocked to see what he's seeing.
Yeah,
and like Atreus is like, what the fuck? Why did you fucking do that?
I do remember that, oddly enough.
So they didn't know if like but there was that, and then also there was like another like Easter egg, like if you have the subtitles on, Tyr when it's Odin has not the thing above the Y, but when you find the actual Tyr, it has the thing above the Y.
Oh, cool.
That was like a tiny
There's like parentheses around it too.
Tyr.
Not Odin. Yeah, there's a like Odin's really pushing the peace thing. Anytime someone's like, we have something, we should go to war. He's like, whoa, the Freya I know would have not.
I wouldn't kill Odin.
And she's like, come on, Tyr, we're friends. This game is largely about exploration, third-person action-adventure game. Sometimes I didn't like the angle behind Kratos too fast. It's weird when your character is like the big off-centered third-person guy. Only a few times did I have an issue with it. That's where you spend most of the game, though.
I do like that camera view a lot, but I get what you're saying. There are times where it's like it just doesn't really work for specifically the combat, I would feel.
And we didn't mention this, but the entire game, like the previous game, one camera shot, one continuous take. It never cuts away the entire time. Even though there's dream sequences, I guess it's just like...
Yeah, they got a little like transitions between the Atreus gameplay and the Kratos gameplay.
Well, no, it's just like the camera changes focus and it just follows
and it goes
somebody
back.
else.
Okay.
And it's very impressive in the film when they do a long take. In a video game, I'm like, it's cool, I get it. Kratos even has a dialogue about it where Mimir says, Greek plays they're so stupid. They take place in one day from one perspective. And Kratos is like, it's meant to mimic real life. Or Kratos even explains it, and it's also just talking about what's happening
actually
there.
happening.
And that's why Kratos is so fucking tired, because I've gone to 7 realms, done 30 favors, and done 6 trials in Muspelheim, fought 4 berserkers. I'm fucking tired.
Yeah.
In my 40 or 50 hour gameplay, I slept a lot.
Yeah.
And Kratos slept one time.
Yep. Twice. He slept once in his...
That one time he had that weird dream, I don't count that as good sleep.
Really?
I don't feel like he hit REM.
It wasn't... No, that was...
I don't feel like he hit REM.
Yeah.
It's super tactical about this right here.
Dude, like the Sandman season 2, Kratos kills the gods of sleep.
God.
Yeah.
Well,
I guess maybe he already did that. I don't know. There's like...
probably. Something. There's
Fuck it, yeah,
is there
he
a
did.
god
We're
somewhere?
Gonna, we're gonna say he did it.
Yeah, he probably did it.
The puzzles...
You the god of sleep? Dead.
What are you guys' thoughts on the puzzles?
The puzzles, I found them to be, if I'm looking at another PlayStation title, one game that evolved puzzles throughout the series and I really enjoyed was the Uncharted series. I feel like the puzzles got a lot better as the games went on. I feel like these puzzles were largely the same. There wasn't, I mean, you could freeze water and that was really it, like freezing the water in the chutes. But other than that, there wasn't a lot of difference. And then constantly having Mimir or Atreus point out what to do the moment that I walked into a room it pissed me off.
Right, yeah.
Remember the old school God of War games where you were doing like this 3-hour long, like moving one arm and you move another arm and then all of like the box lines up and you can go up one floor?
Yeah.
Like those things back in the day, those like giant moving puzzles were fucking brilliant. And this just like, it's almost just tedious. Kratos just freezing one water trough to raise one boulder up.
Yeah.
With Kratos, I've seen him jump mountains, like you said before.
Yeah, the dude is capable.
The door is there. I will jump.
Yeah, the puzzles irritated me, and the commentary on the puzzles irritated me even more than the puzzles. So that sucked.
Did you guys enjoy the role-playing elements, like weapons, armor, crafting?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. It felt kind of one note, the same way the first game did, in my
I was
opinion.
gonna say it didn't feel too bad. It didn't feel like it was like in the way or anything. It's just the story for me. Like even if there was a puzzles, and I know like of course at that point there's no dialogue until they tell you that you're a fucking idiot.
Which is real quick.
One thing I do enjoy though, I think I enjoy when I show up and there's something glowing a different color, and I just throw my axe at it, and they're like, "I don't think we got what we need for that one, brother.
Yeah.
We should come back in about 3 hours." That's the only time I want them to tell me something real quick.
Right.
Yeah.
Because then sometimes they didn't, and I would throw things at it,
Like,
and I was
why is
like, I just start shaking my mirror around, like, "Wake up!
Like, hey, what's this?
Sorry, I shook you."
And then instead of the puzzles, which should be like challenging and rewarding because you're playing a main quest and you're unlocking something. You're unlocking the next room or you're progressing the story forward. Those puzzles should be difficult yet rewarding. And then when I'm in the desert with the dog sled and the giant jellyfishes and I'm looking at a building or a fucking
We haven't mentioned dog
sandcastle.
sleds or giant jellyfishes once yet, and that's just like, if someone hasn't played the game, you really just blew their mind.
Yes.
And then you're with these dog sleds and the giant Hefkefah.
Yeah, and then I'm looking up at this like fucking broken sandcastle and I could see a chest up there and I'm like, now this is fucking challenging. Like, how do I get up there?
I like the throwing puzzles when there's like you have to hit the 3 gongs or you have to time it right or hit like the right arrows and reflect your axe. Those I like enough.
Until you get to a point in the game where you hit 2 of those gongs and then you look up and you see the thorny bushes on the one, you're like, fuck, I'm gonna have to come back for you.
No, the stupidest one is when you have to like use the certain arrows and link your fire to get like.
There is something.
Oh,
my god,
hated that.
Those were never fun. Those were
not
never
great.
fun.
Yeah.
If I make the radius the size of Montana,
Yeah.
and I can get 2 of those fire pits in there at once, I should get a 2-for-1 deal there.
Yeah, exactly.
And it never worked.
It never works.
I hated those puzzles. I forgot about them. I think it was almost so traumatic that my brain cut it out of my memory to save me the trauma. I hated them, and I cannot stress that enough. I hated them.
There's something.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Did I make that clear?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
I'm on board with you, man. I get it.
I like in video games too when God of War 2018. It's like we did everything. We have the best armor. There's like a throwaway line where Kratos like I got rid of all that stuff. Like, what do you say? He like threw it away or
No, it's like because
something?
I think Sindri or Brock asked like, "What did you do with all the other stuff we made you?" And he's like, "I used it." Did you want to save some of that stuff? No.
That armor we got for beating all of the Valkyries. That's good stuff.
Oh
Yeah, it's just explaining why a character in a video game in the sequel has nothing and they start at level 1.
Yeah.
I love that shit.
That's good.
It's so
That's good.
stupid.
Yeah.
We are going to jump through some hoops for that, you know? Leviathan X returns. They add a lot of ice to it, a lot of ice techniques. And I do like the skill trees to unlock new attacks, where if you use them enough to, you unlock more, or you can also like increase the attack power or the functionality of it a little bit. And that works.
I always did damage. I don't know why. I never did anything else.
Me too. There are layers of complexity in this game that I didn't fuck with because I didn't need to.
It gets slightly. I felt the same way about 2018. The skill tree is slightly overwhelming, like because you have so many combinations and so many different skills and like shit you can do. But like once you find something that kind of works, I wouldn't call it cheesing by any means.
Sure.
But if you get good at that one style of fighting, what is my incentive to break away from that and do something different? And that's where I liked this game because it rewarded that.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I at some point too, it's like I didn't know what I needed to do. I'm like, I'll just hit different buttons. And the biggest knock I can say in the combat for this is there were points where I would just fucking like I'd have my 3 or 4 buttons I'd hit continuously because I just want to make sure I'm always spamming arrows with Atreus or Freya. So I'm always square. I'm just like
Triangle.
Is it triangle? It's square.
I think it's square.
It might be. It's been a long time, guys.
Regardless, I'm spamming that, and then I'm just doing the same like
Get the fuck out of here.
I gotta pee anyway.
poser. But I just wind up kind of like hitting those same buttons
Yeah.
over and over.
Right.
And the combat, how much of the fucking around with extra bosses did you do?
Not too much.
Not too much.
I felt like I was still just doing my same combos.
No,
Fuck you.
What?
You said you fought Gná and King Rolf. That's fucking around with a lot of optional bosses.
Okay, that's what you meant. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they're like.
I thought you meant like your combos and shit. Like,
No.
but then yes, I fucked all of them. Yes.
To do those berserkers though, I had to really master the combat. It's kind of where I was
Oh
going
my
for
god!
with that.
Yes. Okay. So I'm not going to count Gná or King Rolf because I did set it back to easy, which is nothing to be ashamed of. It's good if you want to just get the story going there. But for the rest of the berserkers, I did it all on Give Me Balance, and like it's just trial and error. And if you like fuck up once, then it's always like one shot hits.
Yeah,
it's just so frustrating every time I saw a berserker. I remember there was the. It wasn't even the 3 berserkers that we had to face at once because it was the 2 sisters and the 1.
Those were one of the worst.
They were one of the worst, but I think the very worst was the couple.
Okay.
The 2?
Yeah, the 2.
Yeah.
Like the husband and wife berserker or whatever.
They
were.
shit
I fucking
sucked.
wanted to blow my brains out. Sorry. Cut that out. I wanted.
You can say that's fine.
Okay. So I wanted to just like it was just. Oh my god, it was so frustrating. And I remember like I was picking up to play the game. I was like, okay, I'm gonna do a few more things. Maybe I'll continue with the story. I found a gravestone. I'm like, I'm back in the apple core. I hated going back through the apple core again.
I hated doing that.
It was very bad.
It's fucking tedious.
It was so tedious. So then I'm like, okay, I'm here. I'm just gonna get this shit done before I continue with the story. So then I find that berserker gravestone, and then there's those 2, and I'm like, Jesus Christ! It took me like 3 hours to finally beat those berserkers.
I beat 2 or 3 berserkers before I realized they were the super bosses.
Yeah.
I just thought they were regular bosses because if you're another gripe I would say is I feel like this game does too much optionals. Like if there's side content, I do it. And I get so far away from the story because I am in Vanaheim.
Yeah.
And I am saving Burger. My boy Burger. Burger thought he was badass and just jumped off a flying boat. And he didn't.
It was great.
It was cool.
Yeah.
He just like, hold my beer. He just stands up and jumps off.
It's like, Vanaheim!
Yeah. It was like, oh, cool, Burger.
Yeah.
It's like, he's still alive, right? And so, yeah. He's
There
fine.
he is.
But like that area,
The crater.
and then you go into the jungle area. I'm like, this is a fucking huge side thing. And I hate it too. It's like, I know that Atreus is in trouble, brother, but we could walk around for 4 hours.
Yeah.
I didn't go to that area until I had Atreus.
Oh, I'm just we're like,
Okay,
yeah,
but
the way
yeah.
that they're like, we could explore a bit before
we go back
fucking
to-
Ragnarok.
I know. I was gonna say they really. I was wondering why they were like telling me to go do extra shit before I did Ragnarok, and I'm like, and then Atreus left. And I'm like, oh, that's why they wanted me to.
That
do
has
more adventures.
been my beef with every single role playing, and I'm doing air quotes because not all of them are role playing games. Every single role playing game ever is when the stakes are high and the main quest is really picking up steam. And I'm looking at you, Red Dead Redemption 2, Grand Theft Auto, Grand Theft Auto 5, all the Grand Theft Autos, Cyberpunk 2077, The Witcher 3, like all these games where they expect you to inhabit somebody and do side shit. Even The Last of Us 2 to a small extent in Seattle. Like you are removing the urgency for me to complete this massive thing.
The pacing is just fucked.
Yes, at a
And
certain point,
you
I
can't-
just
you
barrel
can't,
through.
You can't have high stakes and no pressure. And I really wish games, fuck around with side stuff for like the first half or 2/3, but once it shouldn't be like the last hour of the story, you can't do anything. It should be like the last, good 8 hours. Like, all right, just strap yourself in. We're going to go on the fucking adventure now. And like, I guess now we can go to all of these spots after Odin is no longer a big fucking threat. Maybe we shouldn't save this ghost's garden. This ghost's worried about her garden? And we're going to clear her garden from thorns? We have a lot on our plate, Freya.
But
And you want me to clean her garden? Oh, we're looking for a recipe? Okay. We're looking for components of a recipe.
I got bigger fish to fry.
Helka has lost her ball. Like, this is more important than this fucking garden.
Oh,
we're
really?
talking about.
Helka lost her ball? I lost my fucking son to Odin. We're not the same.
That's it.
I was treasure hunting with my son. Fuck off, Ghost. That's straight up Taika Waititi is Thor Ragnarok. Piss off, Ghost. I have a high tolerance for stupid side quest bullshit, but every time a ghost pops up, I'm like,
Here we go.
I was cool with it. I know you felt like Kratos there because Kratos was like, why are we doing this? They're dead. Who cares?
Even Kratos this time, he's like, I don't mind. Sometimes he was into the side quest, which is very un-Kratos-y, but yeah, those side quests were a little much.
Man.
What was do you guys have an armor that you'd want to call out as being important to you?
I think I went through the whole game just kind of with my hodgepodge of armors until I was like done with the game. Then I finally figured out a couple things that I liked. And then even then I went back to the original armor. I just upgraded all that shit, and then it made like a badass armor. It didn't have any like extra specs to like luck or anything like that, but it was still like great for your defense and everything, and it worked out for me.
Sure.
I liked the Muspelheim armor you get from completing all the challenges.
Okay.
I had that full set, and that was pretty dope.
Yeah.
I don't remember the stats on it, but I know that I wore it for a long time.
Okay.
So I used Lunda's armor.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, yeah, that I remember
It was absolutely important for those super hard boss battles. That's how I did almost all of the boss battles and the last part of the game. You throw the axe until you're only like barehanded, and you do like 40% extra melee damage with just fists, and everyone like you attack gets poisoned in like 5 hits, which
shit.
immediately drops them down a level from like 5 to 4 or like 8 to 7. And then also if you have this certain shield, you do a shield bash, and everything that's poisoned explodes to do extra damage. It's like this stupid, almost broken mechanic. I was just really upset Kratos with fists for a lot of the game. The Chains of Olympus return, always cool. I do like though that when you go to see Surtur, one of the first like beings in the world, he said, "We need you to do the Ragnarok." He says, "Nope." He sees the Chains of Olympus. He's like, "Yep,
Okay, I'll do it.
Oh, I forgot about that. The fucking space battle.
Yeah.
That shit was gnarly.
It was a
That was
gnarly
cool.
location, but I just hate that Surtur's like, no. And I was like,
Come on, man.
and then he says, okay.
I thought that was kind of maybe my gripe. It felt like Ragnarok was kind of useless against Odin a little bit. It just felt like, oh, there he is. Let's go inside.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you beat Odin, and then Ragnarok's like, I'm going to kill everything else. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, there's a lot going on that I don't know. It was a lot of moving parts.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't pay attention too much to Surtur. There was a cut quest too where maybe that's part of it because they originally Surtur was going to show up as Ragnarok and it wasn't working, and you had to go find his wife, the Frost Giant, and you had to get her on board to like also help. And that's what really would have caused Ragnarok, but it would have been like another fucking hour quest.
Sure.
More.
Yeah.
But
Instead, now you just get his wife crying.
yeah.
If you go through the...
Which is sad enough.
It was, yeah.
But
Sorry, I didn't get to that part
just
yet.
wanted to call out the Chains of Olympus because even Surtur sees those. He's like, those shits is tight, dude.
Let's go.
Yeah.
That's like primordial fire.
Yo,
Yo,
just
can I
drive
check
that
that
shit
shit out?
Yeah, drive that shit in my heart. Come on, let's go. Let's go.
He's like, ooh, yeah, put that in my heart.
Do it.
He's fucking just
Like, so is he ready or something? It's like, just fucking blow the horn. I'll be there. Ugh. All right, let's go.
Yeah, and I like that the battle you call that though. I mean, there's Valkyrie queens. If you need a Valkyrie queen, they're fucking everywhere these days. We're lousy with them. National Women's Day. Sorry,
Damn, dude.
no, but like the 2 Valkyrie queens just show up in that space battle, and I'm like, sometimes they're like, I love it when a troll has a name or like they're like, this is Rolof Gunnarsson. And I'm like, oh,
Okay.
and you read the biography, it's like noble king of the trolls. I was like, I didn't know.
Cool.
I thought he was just here. He just started. So if you look it up, there's some like weird full names for the trolls, and I'm about it. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Oh, there's 2 more Valkyrie queens that are still around. Sure.
Right. But I mean, also that area is beautiful. I remember when I first walked into that area with Surtur, I was just like, I want this tattooed on me somewhere with Kratos somewhere.
Yeah.
Before I bought my PlayStation 5, I bought a very nice LG TV. I spent a lot of money on it, and I was very proud of it when I got it.
Hell yeah.
But I bought it for a PlayStation 5. Like
So it's got HDMI 2.1.
Yup. And when that bitch came on, like God of War Ragnarok looked fucking beautiful on my TV. And that was probably one of the shining moments. That or like the first time you get to the kind of dwarven city swampy area.
Okay, yeah.
And you really get the freedom to like move around and look around. I'm like, yo,
Svartalfheim was popping.
Yeah, there's Svartalheim. That's right.
I will forget all of these in 2 weeks. We also get the Dropnir spear.
That's cool.
It's cool. Kratos has used this spear back in the day. I forget what it was called, but it's a spear with the wind element. If you know the element, it's a wind element. And he throws it, it explodes, and he can also boing off of it. And you jump and boing, like a little twing.
I remember getting it, and I was like, I don't want a fucking third weapon.
I don't want to learn another weapon.
Yeah,
Right.
and then
It
by
was
the end
kinda
of the
weird.
game, I was switching between the three. I was like, this is all right.
Mostly for the skills, like because they take like the recharge time L1 or R1 or L1 and R2.
Yeah.
And you'll want to cycle through them. And then they do throw enemies where you have to kind of switch out.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
I do like that sequence though when Sindri goes to his basement to find the Dropnir, and it's just like he has this room of like 1,000 rings. That's one of the times Odin almost slips up because he met Brock and Sindri are talking about how they have the Dropnir, and Tyr comes over, he's like, "You two stole it," and he almost blew his cover there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because naturally Odin was very pissed because they stole it from him. Yeah.
That was the elevator scene, right? Where he comes up. That was when the cutscenes hit in this, they hit.
do.
They're beautiful to look at. They're well mocapped or acted. What I don't know what's actually acted.
Both.
Yeah.
Work,
I mean, they are mocapped, and then they're acted, and then there are fucking an army of animators doing their jobs too. And but it's not until I've had 8 beers and I'm sitting there in front of the screen that the vision is complete. And that is when Sindri actually is me and I am drunk.
Yes.
Fun fact, I beat King Rolf very drunk.
Oh my God.
I went to Gná and I stayed up an extra 2 hours and got drunker and beat her the same night.
Hell yeah.
I barely
Give me
remember
balance?
I barely remember beating Gná.
Still give me balance and stuff.
Yeah, I didn't change difficulties. I thought Gná was actually almost easier than Rolf.
Really?
I almost won. I got her on the first time almost, but dude, that poison build with Linda's armor.
Oh yeah.
Cuirass,
Okay, you're saying that.
I had to replay the end of Ghost of Tsushima because I was so drunk I didn't remember beating the game, and then I logged back in the next day and was like, where am
game's
I?
done.
And I had to like reload an old save or something like that.
Yeah, that was all of the Halig tree for me almost.
No way.
Christ.
Yeah, in Elden Ring, I was just dirty Scotch drunk one night. It's when Carly was watching this dog, so she wasn't home for a few days, and I was just up at like 2 a.m. on the hardest part of Elden Ring, just hitting my head against the wall, and I did it. And then I was my second playthrough. I'm like, this is vaguely familiar. Fun fact: armor, you can transmogrify it. If your armor is level 9, you can just change it, edit the appearance to look like any other armor that you have available. So you can look however you want after you max level something.
Never been a fan of that in any game whatsoever.
It's a cool option, but like I
did use
like
it
in Diablo.
I did use it a lot in Diablo 3
Yeah.
because sometimes you have to because otherwise you look hideous.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
But
I paint my shit all the time.
yeah.
Well, I mean, there's also when you are just using the best armor you have available versus what looks cool. And it's like I saw a Hogwarts Legacy post about that.
You
or meme,
should have
and
saw
someone just looks so stupid. But it's like, that's what I got. I'm wearing these spectacles right now. Yeah. We don't need to talk too much about the story. I think we've hit most of the big bosses.
I think the only part that I really enjoyed we didn't talk about was Atreus with Thor traveling through Muspelheim. That was fucking awesome.
That was cool.
Because Thor treats him like a father, but without any compassion.
Right.
Or you talk about the first time or when Thor is doing it very drunk? Is there 2 times? I think there's 2 times.
Yeah, there's 2 times.
Yeah, there's
right?
2 times.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't need parenting advice from you fucking prick.
And then you send him off to go do a
Yeah,
challenge
yeah.
so you can sneak
Yeah.
off.
Oh yeah, that was the first one. That was the first time around. I was like, but you probably couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I was like, what do you mean?
That was
you probably-
pretty fun. I liked it.
It was good.
Yeah. My only issues really with the story were the pacing. I felt like it meandered too much. Like Kratos goes to talk to the Norns to try and get informed about fate.
I wanted him to kill them so bad because of the first 3 games. Or
I was like, we're here. Those are the
like,
theories.
just do it. Do it.
This is what you do, Kratos.
Do it.
Yeah.
And they're annoying too.
Yeah,
that
they
one just keeps
suck.
walking by, like saying what you're saying.
I know. I'm like,
like,
what the
Fuck her in particular.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he doesn't, and they probably are smarmy because they know that he won't.
yeah. Fair enough.
But that part where it's like we already know what's going to happen. I don't think he was really informed, other than he learned Heimdall would kill Atreus, which didn't happen because that's just
None of the stuff happened.
I hate that shit.
I'm still upset that every time you kill a troll, it's the exact same animation from the first game, which was the only animation in the first game. It's like, let me smash their heads with giant sledgehammers in multiple ways. At least give me a couple two tree.
Just
couple
a
two tree smashes.
little bit more.
Yeah, I feel like that level of what's the word I'm looking for? I wouldn't say
care, extra effort.
it's not asset reusage. It's like
It's I don't know. It's like a finishing touch.
yes, a little finesse, a little more finesse in the animations.
Sure.
And
Kratos only knows one way to kill trolls.
yeah,
That's it.
Yeah,
I mean, it
it's-
is. I will say it is cool. I know like it's very
it
repetitive.
is very cool though.
but it is so cool.
I mean, I'm splitting hairs at that point, but
we kill Odin. We beat the game.
Yeah.
And Odin's boss battle, I died once. It took me 2 tries.
Yeah.
But I had
That's
also
right,
beaten
that's-
Gna and Rolf at that point.
Okay, see, I didn't
he
do that until
was
afterwards.
not difficult.
He wasn't too difficult. I loved the comeuppance at the end where everyone's like, we're not going to kill him. And Sindri just shows up out of nowhere and fucking
Boom,
smashes it.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, Sindri's kind of having a moment right now.
Well, it's like if you look at Sindri and how everything he went through, and like you mentioned, like Kratos and Atreus aren't giving him anything for everything that he's doing.
They're coming
and then
in
his
his
brother
house.
dies.
They're not even wearing the little like booties on their dirty boots when they walk in.
Yeah.
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 It's like, oh, so you're not going to wipe your feet? Fucking, oh,
You're
God.
going into
after-
his house.
Right.
How disrespectful.
And after Brock dies, I don't think he showers because, like, from then on,
just
every
gets
time you see him,
dirtier.
he's dirtier and dirtier
Yeah.
as the game goes on.
But you could say, like, even though like he is doing all this stuff for Kratos and Atreus, he did bring that upon himself. Where Brock, and can go nowhere now.
And Sindri is dealing with those thoughts too.
Yeah,
He's dealing with it. And I love that one line that Kratos has when Atreus is trying to bargain with Sindri about like, I'm sorry, is there anything? And Kratos says something like, let him grieve the way he wants to.
Right.
Or something like that. Kratos even says it's like, we'll be around. We'll be around.
Which is,
yeah,
like
and he says that in the first game in 2018 when Atreus, I was reading this codex because there's a scene when Atreus is like trying to talk about his mother died, and Kratos kind of yells, "Don't think because I'm not crying that I'm not grieving," or something like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which is, I mean, letting Sindri grieve the way that he wants to is such a far cry from close your heart to it, which was like one of the most memorable lines of the first game for me. So it's like you get this whole entire character arc, and it really feels like you come full circle without having to kill Kratos and hand the franchise over to Atreus, which I thought was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So after the game, after we kill Odin, there is a little extra content. If you go back,
Sorry.
if you go back to Midgard, the house that Freya was living in, Charlie,
Yeah.
she just left this big giant turtle unattended.
Pissed.
He's pretty upset.
I
Mostly,
gotta go back there then.
and she's like, "Oh."
That's not too much, but yeah.
She's like, I haven't fed my cat in 3 weeks. And Burger moves in with him. If you say Burger will move in with him. You have to go back.
to
Is
go
it
back to-
optional
okay.
to save Burger?
You can save Burger in Vanaheim.
Well, you
I
have to
saved
save,
Burger.
You have to save Burger, don't? Isn't that
Do you
part of the
have
stuff?
to?
No, that's a side quest.
That's a side quest.
I saved the fuck out of Burger.
Yeah, I saved him right away too.
But yeah, then you can go see him in Vanaheim, and then he'll go move in to Charlie.
Okay.
And he's like,
guess
I
I-
might write a book. I'm like, sure, dude.
Do whatever you want, man.
Dude,
You're
you
living in a
jumped out
turtle.
of-
You have stories, bro.
You jumped out of a flying canoe.
Yeah. I think
And you now live in a turtle.
Yeah.
Like you got half a Narnia right there.
Well, the Travelers, Odin made a false religion for the Travelers to try and convince them to find a way into Jotunheim. So those like super slow dudes, the giant ones, they're all just thinking they're worshiping like a shitty Scientology about moving into Jotunheim.
That one though, the one that always backs up into you, he'd be so good at playing in the post. If he played for the Bucks, dude, he just boxing you out the whole time.
Dude, he's got skills, man.
sword.
If you go back to Vanaheim, Sif has moved into Vanaheim with Hildisvini, who we know as a dog or a pig from the first game, but is now a human.
That's right. It's a dude.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's the pig that you injure
Shoot
and
with
then
the arrow,
heal.
right?
In Niflheim, Sinmara grieves for Suitor. You can rescue the real tier, just doing yoga, real tier
Did
shit.
not do that.
Yeah.
Top tier shit right there.
Top tier.
Top
shit.
tier?
You didn't get you didn't get the actual tier.
No, because once I did I did a little bit exploring after the game, a little bit of completion shit, and then I was like, I'm waiting for New Game Plus,
Okay.
and I did the funeral scene and shut it down.
Okay. All right. Cool.
If you go back to Elfheim, Thrud finds Thor's hammer there, setting up that she will now be wielding Mjolnir.
I did see that.
Yeah, that was cool.
In Helheim, Mimir confesses that in exchange for Hrasfogr, the giant fucking bird in Helheim, for aiding Kratos, she wishes to have a successor as the ruler of Hell someday. We don't know what that's going to mean.
Yeah, I
haven't
went looking
got-
for that for a while. I thought it was going to be maybe the giant dog that you fight.
Fenrir.
Yeah, that was such
Dude,
a
that
cool
scene is
part.
great. When you get
so cool.
Garm, who is just this wild beast that can go between realms, and
All of a sudden, he's like a little snooky booky.
Kratos is like, wait, that's Fenrir? And he goes, sit. And the big dog sits.
Yeah.
That's like such a dad move just to tell a dog to sit.
And the dog like cocks its head and is like wagging his tail. Is like super psyched to see you. It's like, holy shit, that is.
And I mean, they saved it because Atreus keeps saying, is there no way to not kill it? And
Right.
the only reason that Kratos learns it's okay to not kill things sometimes is because of Atreus. He has learned to sometimes not occasionally kill things.
I think that was a really big part of the story as well for Atreus and Kratos. Like, that's when Kratos finally trusts Atreus. And that's when Atreus puts the soul of Fenrir in Garm.
Which is also teased a little bit by, Freya? When he goes to see Freya, she's like, you know, your knife has a soul in it. Also, I don't like you and I'll kill you.
Like,
And that's
get
when he
outta
realizes, like, oh, I took my dog's soul with it.
here. Yeah.
Okay, well, just mention some collectibles quick. I'm going to read a list of numbers.
Sure.
47 favors,
Cool.
35 Nornir chests, 53 legendary chests, 48 Odin's ravens.
Fuck those things.
They're easier in this game than the last game.
They are, but I have.
But when you
bone to
miss
pick.
3,
Yeah.
that sucks. Well, I mean, I missed like 8 overall or 9, and I'm like, I'm not going to go figure out which ones I'm missing.
Well, no, that's a you go to the map.
Well, even then, it says like you're missing 3 or 4 of them, but then you
Right.
have to like go to Google.
Yeah, that's
pull
fair.
them
Yeah.
up.
And
And
the
it's just like
first
that
game,
tedious
there were-
collecting that I don't like to do.
Yes.
Okay, fair enough.
So you got all the ravens.
Yeah, I got all the Ravens. Yeah.
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 Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like I,
I
said,
did-
I 100% completed.
I did like
Yeah.
that I got rewarded for getting the Ravens this
Yeah.
time as like a tier system.
Yeah,
Where
that was
like
cool. You
if
get,
I
like,
got
12.
8 of them, I got to open up a chest. Like
Sure.
that was cool.
Yeah.
In that last game, there
then
was
the Ravens
like
talk-
53 of them. And
The
I was-
ravens talk like children out of a
Children.
horror movie, like,
yeah.
yes, and then we were killed. And I was like, I don't want to open these
Like,
chests
oh my God, this is
anymore.
weird. When are they
It's
gonna
kinda
happen to me here?
fucked up. We got 14 books, 38 artifacts, 80 lore bits, 10 treasures, 10 berserker gravestones, 6 Draugr holes, 10 remnants of Asgard, 6 hell tears, 9 realms in bloom flowers, 6 lindworms, 4 stags of all seasons, 15 Muspelheim trials, 14 relics / hilts, 5 shields, 7 jewels of Yggdrasil, 38 mystic gateways, and 4 lost pages. That's the list of collectibles.
Wow.
And one of the books I have down is from MLB The Show.
Yeah, that's right. It's a baseball.
Which that sounds like a horrible poem.
It's take me out to the ball game. And then there's something about Cracker Jacks in there. Babe Ruth hits a dinger.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
In Mimir's
guy
voice,
points
it
to the
sounds great.
sky.
Yeah. It's about
Fat
Kratos kills
That middle-aged alcoholic points to the sky
And then eats a hot dog.
and then cheats on his wife. That's
better.
Babe Ruth.
Kratos kills Babe Ruth. God of War 10 confirmed.
He puts down the Leviathan axe and picks up a Louisville.
Smash the shit out of it.
I don't think we need to talk too much about the Muspelheim trials.
Yeah. It was clever. Like
I hated them this time. I didn't do them all.
I did them all.
I did them all. I thought it was. I guess like I don't remember 2018's trials because I didn't do them all on that first one. But this one I was like, okay, yeah, this is cool. Maybe it was easier.
I liked the first
Yeah.
one more because the second one was just a repeat.
Yeah,
Like
that's fair.
each stage had 3 different level variations, and then you had to complete 2 of the levels in a certain order to unlock the floor.
I hated that, like, when they told me I'd have to go back and redo 2 things to unlock one, I'm like, I'm not redoing things.
And you had to do it a lot.
I said,
I just did the easiest ones.
but even then, I'm just like, I don't want to redo anything. I like, at least fighting Gana. My 2 cats have knocked the ball out of the toy.
I was going to say, it's just...
Sorry, Pickles.
Hey, wait, what the hell? Oh, his name is Pickles?
That's Pickles, yeah.
Oh, man, I used to have a guinea pig named Pickles.
Pickles McNulty.
Pickles McNulty, wow.
Because if you've seen The Wire, he always has this look like, what the fuck did I do?
He's literally looking around right now for the toy. Like, the fuck did it
Where
go?
the fuck did that go?
And Martin Lionel Jaharis McFly is the other one.
God damn, that's cool.
Yeah, they're good boys. I think I met Pickles once at your place.
At my place? Oh, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Probably did a podcast, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
R.I.P. Pickles.
R.I.P. Pickles. Moosefime Trials, Berserkers. You guys were talking about Bodvar the Spheres and Staralfor. The troublesome is the pair. The duo you didn't like.
I fucking hated them.
Did not like those ones.
I hated Svigdodger, the Cold, and the Sisters of Ilska. I hated the Battle of the Three.
The three.
The multiple ones were tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were. At least the sisters they shared the health.
Yeah.
That was good.
But there's 2 of them.
That too. Yeah, they usually kept a distance too. And I actually finished off the Berserkers. Like, I think I only did 5 before I finished the game, and then I did the rest of them after the game was done, and I felt like it was a lot easier afterwards.
Yeah, it's always that weird balance of am I strong enough, or do I want to get stronger to go forward?
I was like, I'm just going to come back later after beating probably about 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah, that's that. Because I was going to say, like, there was every once in a while where my process was just like going to a gravestone, saving, hitting the gravestone, seeing what their health bar looks like, loading the save, and then just not fighting them.
That is Brad's take on Elden Ring, where he runs into a dungeon and looks at the boss and was like, I'm going to grab this shit. I'll be back later. And then just bail. Deuces.
See you.
I was like, oh, man. Marker. 2 days later. Yeah. But with God of War, I would run into a fight that I couldn't do, and I'm like, nope, I'm staying. And I would do it for 2 hours straight, and it sucked.
That would piss me
I'd
off
get angry,
so bad.
and I did it. And I did relent a little bit on the Berserkers, but yeah, you fight King Rolf. And then I was really pissed to find out he wasn't the ultimate boss, because it was Gana. Mm-hmm. And Gana wasn't so bad.
I haven't beaten Gana yet.
God.
Gana, there is a cheese. I have seen that there is a cheese strategy, though.
No, I hate it when he says it. Not that you haven't beaten him.
I was like,
he's just like, oh, it wasn't so bad. I'm like, fuck you, man.
Compared to some of the Berserkers, Gana wasn't as bad. But maybe we had different strategies.
That's
maybe
fair.
that was
Yeah,
just
that
like
could be
is Gana harder than the Queen Valkyrie?
I don't know.
Final
I
Valkyrie.
didn't even play that one. I was so pissed at just playing the Valkyries themselves.
Because she.
I heard that
took
she
a large
wasn't.
chunk
I've
of my
heard she
wolf.
wasn't as bad as the ultimate boss from 2018.
Yeah, the final Valkyrie from 2018.
Sigrun, who Mimir definitely
Loves.
had a relationship with.
Yes.
And she took that head to bed, and we don't know what happened.
Yeah.
But I think Mimir, did he get, I don't know what he got, but she got some.
I was like, she got something. Like, all she has to do is like, all right, Mimir, good night, and then just
Yes.
place her down, everywhere.
Mimir's probably into it.
Yeah, probably. I mean, he probably is like, yeah, hell yeah.
This is better than sitting next to Kratos' butt for the all day.
That dude doesn't even wipe. Like, I'm fucking.
Yeah.
Can I move to your other butt cheek, brother?
It's starting to smell over here.
The wind is blowing the wrong
Not
direction.
gonna get any better on the other side, bud.
Yeah. Gana's another battle. A few things I wanted to mention post game. Cody Barlog told Eric Williams, the director, that 3 important aspects have to happen in this game. He said, you can do a lot of what you want, but like 3 things have to happen. He says, Ragnarok must happen. Brock has to die. And Atreus would depart from Kratos in the conclusion to set up something new. We are departing Norse mythology for this one. Atreus is going out to find other
Giants,
lost giants. Other mythologies have giants.
Oh.
And they have said the future. Prior to the 2018 release, Cody Barlog said that after the Norse era, the franchise would move either into Egyptian or Mayan mythology.
Ooh.
Egypt could be cool, but I think Mayan would be more exciting because I know less about it.
Yeah,
Okay,
and origin is,
And they also they mentioned a lot of Chinese and Asian mythology, which would be cool too. Sorry,
I would like Mayan. Egyptian, it came out a while ago, but Assassin's Creed Origin is right there. There's no Mayan. There's nothing in that. I mean, I could go watch Apocalyptico again, but other than that, there's really
I just
no
watched
media about
Wakanda
it.
Forever. I learned a lot about Mayan stuff there.
Oh, I forgot. I haven't seen that yet.
Actually, I don't think I learned anything about Mayan mythology there. They were
is it
Mayan
really gonna be
people.
inaccurate?
They were Mayan people. So we'll count it.
I mean, all I've heard was the Egyptian one. I thought that would be pretty cool. Honestly, I'm that guy.
Where would you want him to go?
Oh man,
I want him to go into Boston, Massachusetts
That's it.
mythology.
The final boss is Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. What is that?
Dude, those are the two schmucks you have to fight all game.
yeah, and you have to face him at Fenway.
Yeah.
Fucking
This fucking
the
guy.
Green Monster.
You're coming to Harvard Park.
Look at this
Can't
is
do it in
yeah.
Boston, yeah.
My God, that was pretty good. But no, I mean they would never do it, but I wouldn't mind if they did some sort of Christian mythology.
If Kratos gets to fight Jesus,
No, Jesus, he wouldn't fight Jesus. Jesus is the Kratos couldn't at this point. Atreus maybe. Kratos is a peaceful guy, and I think Jesus is ultimately peaceful. If you I went to Catholic school. He is a peaceful dude. God, that is an Old Testament motherfucker who Kratos could be mad at.
There you go.
And if you want to go Book of Mormon, that's the third book of the Bible. Ooh, we can have some fun. You can go to outer
There you go.
space. Everyone gets their own planet. There's possibilities. Kratos goes to space if we do the Book of Mormon.
Just beat all the Earth gods. Just go after the spaghetti
Egyptian-
monster. or
A
whatever.
Native American mythology could be fun.
yeah, Egyptian would be cool because I can imagine a dope ass boss battle with Anubis
Yeah. It just seems too obvious.
and the Rock as the
does.
Scorpion King.
I maybe Asian mythology.
Well, maybe they'll save that Egyptian one down the line after they do all the other ones.
Yeah,
Just keep Kratos, keep killing.
Yeah, but to me though, it's whatever would be the most money-making prospect is what you do next.
I feel like Mayan sounds awesome.
That does sound
I'm
cool.
on board for that. I want it to be that.
But do they really want to? Do they really want to go into something that was? Wait, yeah, Mayans are real, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just making
Yeah,
sure.
they were.
Okay, I was like, wait a second, yeah.
Whether or not the gods were is debatable, but Kratos will kill him.
Well, I guess Spartans were also real. I don't know why. I just blew past that.
I was reading in the news just today that Odin's people's belief in Odin was confirmed to be 150 years earlier than they had ever thought because they found another a coin that was way earlier than anything before. 150 years earlier that says something like in Odin we trust on our fucking quarter or something like
Holy
that.
shit, okay.
So Odin was even more OG than we thought. Just some old dude in this cool hat I'm really friendly. Everyone loves me.
What's up? I'll kill my son though. It's cool.
Yeah, I could turn into a raven. I
There's-
got one eye.
There's one thing that Odin that was confusing to me at first when Odin is talking with Heimdall and Atreus, and Odin turns around and Heimdall has moved to the other side. And Odin's like, "Where'd he go?" And he's turned around. I was like, "Why'd he do that?" Odin knows where Heimdall is the whole time. Odin is playing up buffoonery to seem more innocent, more harmless. He's so fucking manipulative every moment. And I just love that he runs into Kratos and Odin says 1,000 words and Kratos says, nope.
No.
All Kratos says is the word no to him. And it's how do you talk to Kratos? How do you manipulate Kratos? Because you can't. He has to be Tyr, and even then he can't manipulate him.
Right.
Yeah, because Kratos still does what Kratos does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did like that slight interaction. I forgot. I think it was in the dwarf area.
Svartalfheim.
Svartalfheim? Whatever that was when Odin showed up randomly and just talked to Kratos. Be like, hey.
With Durlin in front of him, the little
Okay.
dwarf Durlin, yeah.
Okay. And then, I was going to say hey, something, you can't even, your son's with me now, blah, 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 that kind of shit just get in his head. And Kratos just uttered 5 words saying I'll be the god that I was. I'll be the god killer that I was if you really want me to be.
Yeah.
Don't fucking tempt me.
Odin has control over everyone in his realm, and then this guy who's literally killed an entire pantheon of gods shows up. No one's like, oh.
Ah, shit.
He's going to be a
I
problem.
was like, I was going to say he's going to be
Of
an
all
issue.
the blocks he could move on to.
yeah.
I don't think we need to call out side quests. I crafted recipes for ghosts.
The whale one was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was
freeing,
cool. Yeah.
Freeing the water. It was a whale, right?
Yeah, the whale creature
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
It is. I don't have it. I was gonna look it up in a minute.
That was cool. I liked that. I liked freeing the jellyfish. That was pretty cool.
That was cool. So I recently became a father. And when I got to that part, freeing the jellyfish and how he was like, I'm not looking for Kratos for parenting advice or anything, but I mean, he did
This game you could.
I was like, this game you actually could.
Yeah.
But like when he like told that story about how these jellyfish, these two big jellyfish that you freed, all of a sudden they sacrifice everything for their little ones, and then Atreus is like, how could they do that? And he's just like, parents do that for their kids, and I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, oh my god, I just became a dad, and I love these kids so fucking much already, and they're only 6 months old, and fuck. It was just really cool.
And you'd lay your life down for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Without a thought.
Not without a thought.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Hafgufa.
Yeah, that's it.
Inspiring love everywhere.
I like to think that my wife and I are those jellyfish flying now.
You are.
We are. And that's how we made our children.
2 at a time.
That's it. God, we just wanted one. I love them both. I just want to say I love them
you got
both.
twins?
I have twins, yeah.
Oh shit!
Yeah, we were just planning for one, and then like when we found out that we were pregnant, it was cool, and then we got to our first ultrasound, and they're like, I don't know how to tell people this, but there's 2 in there. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? And I put my hands on my head. And then they're like, wow, usually the dads pass out. I'm glad you're kind of staying up
I
here.
didn't know you brought a 2-for-1 coupon.
Yeah.
It's like, there's no good way to say it.
Oh, there was that. So, yeah, we got twins.
Yeah.
Damn,
At
that's
least,
awesome.
One boy, one girl.
At least you didn't have 3.
That's, you know what?
Or if you did, it would have been fine too.
We would have, I was worried, like, what if there was one just hiding in the back, like one more?
Don't Google that, because sometimes they pull a third kid out of a brain somewhere. I saw that the other day.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah.
What?
Like another baby was like growing inside of one baby's brain, and they pulled out like something that looked vaguely like it was from an alien film that was a partially developed fetus growing in a baby's brain.
I did see.
That's why you don't Google stuff.
Yeah, I did see a guy from like the 1920s who had like a baby that grew out of his stomach, like he fused with his twin.
Oh god!
And it was like he had like some arms and some legs hanging off.
Yeah,
I assume not alive.
No.
Okay.
And back then they didn't have the medicine to remove it, so he was like a carnival act, and apparently he made a lot of money.
Oh, there you go.
I did make jokes about crafting a recipe as a side quest. That is an important side quest. I just want to mention this. One of the developers, it's important just because of the story behind it. A developer of this game passed away during the development of this game due to epilepsy. And they were his partner. They both worked on the game. Jake Snipes and Sam Hendrick. They were both working on the game, and then one of them passed away at a very young age. And the story for those 2 ghosts is a story of 2 men who found each other in this world, in a very hard world to not only be 2 gay men, but also just to survive on their own.
Sure.
And that was the story of like crafting their recipe. And it's a fucking good one to do. It increases all of your stats permanently by 5.
Oh yeah. Okay.
This is much better than cleaning the garden, is what I'm trying to say. Don't clean the garden, craft the recipe if you
Right.
can. This game won awards. Best narrative, best score, and music. Best audio design, best performance went to Christopher Judge. Best action adventure and innovation and accessibility at the Game Awards 2022. Very good game. Very well received. Definitely not as good as Elden Ring, in my humble opinion. Christopher Judge gave one of the best fucking speeches you'll ever see at a Game Awards. So have you seen it?
I haven't seen it. I want to go check it out now.
Imagine one of the earliest speeches in the night, and they're trying to be on a schedule, and Kratos comes up and speaks in ellipses. Just like, there's 3 periods, which behind every word, he's like, first, I'd like to thank my mom. Next.
Oh my god.
And he went on way too long. And they tried to play him off. And he's like, next. He just talked louder over. And he just kept talking as slow as he wanted because he just wanted a big award. And it was the funniest thing, them trying to play Kratos off of his acceptance speech. And the dude just got louder and louder. I fucking love that.
Yeah.
I do just need to read one thing from our Discord because our good friend Ryan, Kratos Nick, Christy Nick, he wrote some nice things on God of War, so I'm going to read this.
Sure.
Read his thoughts here. Simply put, I love this game. This is going to be a gush fest. Apologies. I feel like it took what made the first one great and expanded upon it.
Yeah.
The story about changing your fate was thrilling and touching in all the right ways. I was truly worried that this would be where Kratos would sacrifice himself for Loki from the mural at the end of the last game. The new characters really filled out the world, and the actors did an amazing job. I never saw Richard Schiff as Odin working, but he won me over. Agreed. Yeah. I felt like the combat system, while not really changing much with the Blades axe, did add some new wrinkles to it. Interesting, like adding the perks. I enjoyed the drop near spear, how it changed things up. Nothing more fun than loading an enemy up with spear tups and seeing them light up. I did like that.
That was cool. I love doing that.
I found myself using it more than the other weapons except for Berserker fights. Was it a perfect game? No. There definitely were moments like this. Like there was just too much to do. Pretty sure there were multiple moments during the Crater where I was like, more quests. Seriously, the Crater was a little much.
Crater was a lot.
I feel like I might have been the only one that was sad to see the Niflheim maze not make an appearance. I didn't do the Niflheim maze in 2018 because I said fucking no.
Oh yeah, that sucked with the poison gas. Fuck that. Yeah, I fucked that up too. I didn't do that shit.
I didn't do that shit.
That shit was tough.
Yeah, it sucked. That was like one of the trophies.
Tedious.
Oh my God.
At least the Ravens were easier to find this go around. The newer Muslim trials were a better variety. The Berserker fights were fun for the most part, but then there were a few that were just lessons and punishments where I just need to put them down and come back later. Mm-hmm. I don't think I can stress just how perfectly cast this game was. Thor reminded me of the drunkard that always wants to fight from Norse mythology. Now as for the big change, I really enjoyed the times I got to play as Loki. His fighting style is different enough from Kratos to keep things fresh, and it was great to see him grow on his own. I look forward to hopefully playing more as him on the quest to bring the giants back. And one last thought, that climactic siege of Asgard was probably my favorite part of the game. It felt truly epic, as it should have been. My favorite part was when it was hinted that Mimir gave oral sex to a Valkyrie queen.
Exactly what we were all thinking.
I mean, that's what I was thinking.
That's all I can do. I mean, what else? A horn?
We sounded a galore horn. Killing Heimdall was up there.
That was good.
Thanks for your thoughts, though, Ryan. I think I agree with most of them.
Yeah.
If anything, though, you didn't say that Papa Odin was Papa enough. And God, he was fucking good.
I liked Odin a lot. I really do. I think the story between the two, 2018 and Ragnarok here, it was awesome. I know like a lot of, like you mentioned, a lot at the beginning of the game was kind of repeating what was going on from 2018, but man, I was still so fucking into it. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's not very often that a game like you get that big release where you know like this is all I'm gonna want to do all day.
Yeah.
And like you're at work and you're thinking about going home and playing. And then you get home and play and you're like, I need to go to bed because I have to work tomorrow. Mm-hmm. But you keep playing. It's one of those games.
I played at like 6:15 in the morning for like a half an hour before work sometimes.
My wife is finishing or playing it right now, and I'm sure she's still awake doing it right now too. Because we actually switch off on nights now. Yesterday was her game.
That's fucking winning as a couple.
It's great. So like Monday was my night, and then yesterday that's when we confirmed that we are gonna do this. So it was still her night. So she's doing an extra night tonight. I get tomorrow night. But yeah, no, she's doing it right now, and she's been staying up later and later. And there was one time we got up before the babies got up. Because
that's what you can.
That's because their wake up time is 6:30, and my wife usually wakes up a little bit before 6. So then she went downstairs, and all of a sudden I just saw like her talking to Heimdall. I'm like, okay, all right, well,
not the best morning, but
not cool. I'm like, if you want to do that, you go ahead.
Yeah.
But yeah, this game is definitely that. I want to play it.
I really look forward to these releases. I thought Hogwarts Legacy was going to scratch that itch, and it did for the most part, but like this is a bigger title than that. I think the last time I was this excited about a game was The Last of Us Part 2, and I don't really see a game on the horizon other than maybe Death Stranding 2 that's going to give me the same level of hype.
Hades 2.
Oh, that's right, Hades 2.
I will say this game was not what I thought it was going to be, because God of War 2018 I was very, very high on. And this game vastly exceeded and improved in some ways, and I think it felt a little stagnant and possibly underdeveloped in other ways. I don't know, the combat had a lot to it, and I just felt like there was sometimes too much to it, and it wasn't explained enough. And overall, I thought it balanced itself pretty well with what it was accomplishing. Is it my favorite game of all time? No. Is it an absolutely fucking awesome game? Yes.
It was.
I really enjoyed my time with it.
Yeah, it was my game of the year when we did the wrap up, and I wavered a little bit once I jumped back into Elden Ring for some of the Elden Dog casts we were doing.
Yeah.
But like, I would probably put my stamp on this game as definitely my game of the year last year.
I'm excited for you to actually beat the game and beat Gná and beat King Rolf, because right now you haven't done shit.
Yeah, I just beat this. I beat the story and I did a handful of side shit, but I really enjoyed it.
You knocked Odin's hat off his head and Sindri did the work for you, dude.
Yeah, that's essentially what I did. Yeah,
Dude, Sindri, when he just pops in there, he's like, no. And I was like, whoa, dude, no.
It was so good.
Yeah.
I'm not touching this game again though until New Game Plus comes out because I am not. I don't think I have the heart to start over just yet. I mean, I only beat it 4 or 5 months ago.
So we have a weird situation right now where we're going to rank this game on our game rankings. So the way this works,
Okay.
if you haven't played the game we're ranking it against, you just abstain. So we'll go right in the middle here. God of War Ragnarok or Donkey Kong Country 2.
Oh, wow.
Sorry to do this to you, Ben.
God of War.
It's still God of War, but man, what a heavy hitter right away.
That's right in the middle of the ranking.
Oh, boy. I love Donkey Kong Country 2. I just replayed that one too recently.
I am going to go God of War Ragnarok hesitantly, just for its story beats. I'm not happy about it. What is your thoughts?
Man, I love Donkey Kong Country 2.
It's the best of the original trilogy.
It is.
It's the best Donkey Kong Country game possibly.
Yeah.
Fun fact, the guy who did the music for that is writing us a new theme song for our podcast.
Really?
David Wise.
Fuck yeah, dude, that's sick.
It's very exciting. We partied with him. He was here last time, yeah.
Oh my god, that's
was
so
good,
cool. I just think about like how that music while you're like going to different levels in Donkey Kong Country 2, like dun 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 dun, and like that's he does
All
that
right,
shit.
this game is about monkeys on an island. And he's like, all right.
Don't
Say
make it slap
less.
so hard. Say less. Nah, it's still God of War
So
Ragnarok.
it's an underwater level, you're saying? Okay.
Oh god, that's so beautiful.
All right. Donkey Kong Country 2 or Ragnarok?
It's Ragnarok.
Okay. God of War Ragnarok or Mega Man X?
Haven't played.
Haven't played.
This is too much pressure now. Mega Man X.
Ooh.
God of War Ragnarok or Final Fantasy VII PS1?
Haven't played.
I only played the remaster.
God of War Ragnarok or Doom 2016?
Oh my god, I haven't played.
God of
I'm
War.
very bad at this.
I'd go Doom 2016 over Ragnarok. Doom 2016 is a fucking banger, dude. That soundtrack alone is better than any
Okay,
game.
Yeah, but I liked God of War more.
That one, our best soundtrack for the PS4.
Yeah, that did, yeah.
Yeah.
I played part of it, then I got too sick because the camera was way too fast.
God of War Ragnarok or Doom 2016? Okay. 1, 2, 3, and shoot, call it out, okay?
Yep.
1, 2, 3, rock.
scissors.
Yeah. So then God of War wins?
Yeah.
Wins? Okay.
Yep, so God of War is number 18
Wow.
on our list. Oh, no, number 19, I should say. Under Final Fantasy VII PS1.
Damn.
Okay.
And
It's number 1.
Bloodborne.
Okay.
Bloodborne.
It goes Bloodborne, Kentucky Route Zero, Death Stranding, Hades, What Remains of Edith Finch, Pokemon Red/Blue, and on to number 41, which is our last one, which is Kingdom Hearts 1.
Okay. All right.
Which I'll bat for it.
What's Super Mario 64 on there?
Not yet. We only games we've had a podcast about are
okay.
to put on the ranking. But this has been Raw Dogs. Thank you so much, Ben, for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. I love talking. Oh my god, I'm so into this right now. It's so good.
So the reason we had you on is because the moment I finished, I went on Facebook and you just posted God of War !
Yep. No. All I said was God of War. Yeah. All I said, no exclamation point, just says God of War.
And I put like a Kratos gif, I'm sure.
Yeah. It was him doing the shimmying. Yeah, exactly. The shimmying.
You're not currently podcasting or anything. Do you have anything you want people to check out? If you do.
I mean, I appreciate it. Right now, I mean, I'm working at Radio Milwaukee. I switched jobs, so now I'm over there. Listen to Radio Milwaukee. Listen to local music. Even if you're not from Milwaukee, then listen to local music from your area. Just do it. It's you can find some diamonds in the rough there. It's gonna be great.
Oh yeah. And we are Hair of the Dogcast. This is a Patreon exclusive episode, so thank you for listening and thanks for supporting us.
People are paying to hear me right now?
People are paying the big bucks.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Hi.
And
Thanks.
if they knew you were coming, they would have paid more. I could have charged them more.
Yeah, we have to hide when I'm coming on the show, otherwise they might cancel it.
Featuring Tyler, and I just like hit the pay tier button way low.
Like, featuring Tyler. Shit.
I think my first 4 episodes, Brad just had me muted the whole time on the switchboard there.
I was wondering, every time you talked, he'd go over to the
Yeah.
switchboard and kind of...
I picked up on it quick, though.
I re-recorded as Tyler. I do a really good Tyler impression.
He's got the transcripts.
Live music.
All right, Brad.
He's a big music guy too.
Yeah, I like live
Let's talk about White Reaper. So, I mean,
Yeah.
Yes, if you want to reach out to us on Instagram, Hair the Dogcast, Twitter @HotDogcast, email us at hairthedogcast@gmail.com. Thank you to executive producers Ryan Christianick, Kip Kipper, Brian Ward, Jordan Hoff, and Phil Wright. Thank you so much for jumping up to the executive producer tier. We are a proud member of the Tokyo Beat Podcast Network. Check out all those other amazing shows. And just don't be sorry. Be better.
Close your heart to it.
If you have a head that wants to go spend the night at a Valkyrie's house,
you let him.
you let him, dude.
Yeah.
Come on, brother, let me go.
Also, before we go, that awesome line that we had where it's just like, you really come around, brother. And he's like, well, I'd had some good counsel, brother, after you kill King Hrolf.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. I'm sorry.
No, it's
all right.
It's great because even Kratos mentions that he considers Mimir like somewhat of a brother.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, you don't even have friends.
No.
This is going to make me cry, and it's just you guys recounting it. It's not even...
Well, and yeah, a lot of the dialogue about the Berserkers, Mimir actually tells a story because he's the one who like helped all of that, whatever the fuck happened. At some point, my brain rolls back into its head and says, no more lore today, Bradley.
That's enough.
Mimir is from Midsummer's Night Dream. Fuck if I know what that means. All right, he's a head on a stick who was on a mountain for 109 years. Whatever. But, cool. Yeah. I don't have anything else to say. I'm excited for God of War.
Whatever's next.
Giza.
Yeah.
God of War, Boston,
Mayan
Massachusetts.
calendar. Boston, Massachusetts. What do you think this is over here? That's New York.
The Fenway Park DLC. Yep.
This is like your main mission is to kill Tom Brady.
Yeah. Hey, Loki, where'd you pack your cat?
Dude, Tom Brady is like actually the ultimate boss. It's the ult.
That's it.
Yeah, or maybe he is the...
He is Boston,
He's like
Massachusetts God.
he is like Odin of Boston. Yeah. He's like, you want to be my wife, Giselle?
You mean my ex-wife?
Ex-wife.
I got a cat.
You did know about the
true.
cat.
All right. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you next time.